was always a good meal.
That was a good one.
It was always a good fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to Red Light District Show. My name is Tim Amoroso. Today we have a real special guest. To me, I always respect people who go out and get it, right? And they see something wrong and they're going to go all in. And so that right there, that kind of spirit gets me fired up and inspires me. And our guest this week is definitely doing that. She's definitely inspiring me and hopefully inspiring everybody across California. She is running for governor. She's going to go up against Newsom. This is Amanda Martin. Welcome to Red Light.
Hello.
Woo! So we're running for governor? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, can I correct you? I am not going to be running against Newsom. He's
Oh, he's done.
we're picking up other options.
Yeah.
Like he's
He's got the
definitely
message, I think.
he can't run for any. Well, that's why he's trying to run for president. So
Is that to you? Is that an odd situation? Like seeing how bad he did on a state level and thinking I'm going to level up,
yeah,
or do you consider his job bad? Do you think that he's done a bad job under his regime?
yeah. I think it's definitely not the best job. Like I think when they were trying to get him out of there, what was it, a couple years ago,
They did it twice?
Yeah,
Recalled him twice?
they recalled him.
Yeah.
or tried to recall him.
Tried him a couple.
And then he went up on stage and he did his, hand movements and everything. And then he's like, well, we're going to be mapping that out. We have a map for that. We're going to be mapping that out. And every time he said that, I just imagined like this map with like little stick figures and like X marks a spot. And it's like, is that what your map looks like? Because it's just, that's what it feels like. Like it's just everything's off the cuff, on the fly, put on a napkin, and, maybe or maybe not, it'll end up where it's supposed to be. But yeah, I'm not a fan of his at all.
Tell me about you. Like, where'd you grow up? Did you grow up in California your
I
whole
did.
life?
Born and raised. I was born in Burbank.
Oh no.
No, that makes me sound extra privileged. But yeah, born in Burbank, and then my parents were like, "Oh, let's go up to Lancaster, Palmdale area
Oh,
where
God.
houses are
Cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's like I think $30,000 or $40,000, and they got to like watch it be built. And so in like 1989, I think we went up there. Maybe it was 1988.
You only wish for $80,000 or $30,000 houses.
That's how it was in Bakersfield. That's how I moved to Bakersfield. It was like $80,000 for a 3-bedroom built to the ground up. That's like Lancaster Part 2.
Yeah, I think it was like 2007 or 2008, and they were like $89,000 out there in Lancaster. It was like right before the market thing. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, grew up, and I mean, I had grandparents that lived like in Sun Valley, and I had grandparents that lived in like Santa Clarita, and family all over California. So it's like anytime I wasn't in school, I was there. So I kind of like grew up everywhere, mostly Southern California. But yeah, stomping grounds, SFE.
How's your
around.
family?
Huh?
How's your family? How was your growing up? Like, how was your childhood?
My dad was a missions pastor, and so he did a lot of missionary stuff like before my parents got married. My mom,
What religion?
we are, I'm laughing just because there's so much stuff out there right now, but we're Pentecostal.
Pentecostal. Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in Foursquare. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess which kind of informs on like a lot about me, I guess. I mean, I do have a definite foundation like in the whole Christianity realm of things.
Good, because he needs it.
I know. I saw a couple of the stuff and I was like, oh shit! Like,
I've just been telling him Jesus is trying to bring him back, and he's like, I need a sign. I'm like, well, it's
Oh
there.
my
You just don't have
gosh.
your eyes open.
Yeah. Well, when I talked to him earlier in the week, I said, I swear, if I walk in there and you're just like,
Oh
come up
yeah.
with some weird ass question, I'm gonna be like, no.
It's okay. I have your back. I'll help you.
Yeah. Off the record,
Yeah.
maybe, but
When the cameras go off, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So just grew up in Southern California. Grew up LA County, I guess is the easy way to put that. And yeah, grew up in the church. My dad was a pastor. I grew up around a lot of pastors, like grandparents, great grandparents on both sides, both Pentecostal, both Foursquare on both sides. My dad's parents kind of like their parents were Pentecostal, but they fell away from it, and so they were, the drinking, smoking grandparents, while that was
Hell yeah.
part of my upbringing. So like my grandpa used to like pay me dollars for like bringing him a racist joke like when I was little.
Oh wow,
And so
I
we
love
won't
your
go
grandpa.
there.
That's awesome.
just like
We
my
won't go
dad.
there, but I mean,
Phil.
the '80s, and it was just like, I mean, I've heard all the good ones. So yeah, I was brought up with like around all kinds of stuff, and I was definitely like steeped in the Christianity end of things, like big time. So I'm even like I even have theology is actually one of my majors. In
Oh,
my
wow.
background. So I'm pretty. People can't really spit the Bible at me, and I'm like, nah, that's not that easy. So yeah.
You got my vote already.
But yeah.
And so, what was it like? What were you like in high school?
Oh.
The real question. Hard-hitting question, journalism.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I was like I
Now, there's two ways of going. Like, were you goody two-shoes, or did you
No.
rebel?
No, I was the rebel. I
You
was
were
the
the rebel.
loudmouth rebel.
There you go.
Women can do what women want. Part of Foursquare is it was founded by a woman, and so you had women preachers. And I mean, we didn't quite do snake venom or anything like that, but we had women that taught. I mean, it's from what I've heard recently in Foursquare, they've not entirely. They're still kind of like keeping the women down, but yeah, but yeah, it's still very much like I don't know. I was definitely that kid. I remember I went to Desert Christian school for a little bit when I was younger in my middle school and the beginning of high school. I got kicked out of there. So I mean, if that kind of informs to it, in 8th grade, we all made our Bible teacher cry
No.
because that school was a Baptist school, and so they were talking about.
You guys
He
were
said
beef.
women should be silent, and
Oh,
women. And I was
no.
like, eh. It was definitely like an '80s high school movie, like standing on the desks and the chairs and throwing stuff at him. And I was there in the middle of it all, like with the Bible. If God can speak through an ass, He can speak through me. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just like one of those things. Like, so it was pretty crazy.
Was your eyes set on being like a minister or preacher?
Yeah, I wanted to be. I felt like when I was 14, I was called to be a pastor, and that was definitely something that I wanted to do.
Was your faith inherited to you, or did you
Mm,
have to find it?
I think it's a little bit of both, like nature and nurture. But I do think that a lot of people, like it's weird to me when I see people that are super, super religious and they then fall away from the church after being like totally legalistic, like all the time. Like I can't stand that sort of stuff. But it's like, how can you be preach? I think they're just so desperate to like experience God that they end up, they don't. And I think that people that end up being atheists, they usually have to. It's an experience thing, and I think people that haven't actually experienced God, those are the ones that are typically going to be atheists. Oh, can you hear me now? Is this
Yes,
better?
Yeah,
Sorry.
because this is where I'm at. Like for the past since Charlie Kirk got shot,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that
let's do
that
this.
moment shook me, and it's not because I'm this Isaac. He told you, right? I'm atheist,
Mhm.
but I saw a dude give his life for God, and that's
Mhm.
how I viewed him. I viewed him as he might not say what you want him to say, but he's speaking from principle.
Right.
And he's speaking from a place of his truth. A lot of times what I notice is people took that out of context and use it to demonize the Republican Party.
Yes.
So with that being said, I consider myself more of a libertarian than either one. So I'm trying to find it. There was a time where I was going to church and I was going to be a priest, a Catholic priest.
Mhm.
And then I went to the service. When I see people that are close to it, I'm drawn to ask certain questions.
Okay.
'Cause
Go ask away.
I'm not like this dude that's like, no God, I'm the man, I know everything. I feel it,
Mhm.
but I don't know it.
So you're agnostic. You're not an atheist.
Okay. What does that mean? What's the difference?
You're not saying that there isn't a God. You're saying that you're open to being proven wrong or being proven right. You're open to the possibility that there's something out there that's bigger than you. But for the most part, you're just like, whatever is. If if I'm touching it, if I'm feeling it, if I'm seeing it, then that it is what it is. That's what I am. But I think if you're being drawn to it, I don't know. I have I'm gonna get raked over the coals for this for sure. I'm
I can
out
edit
there,
it out if
but
it's.
I think atheists. There's a few kinds of atheists, and I think there's atheists that had really hardcore experiences. Okay, so let's back up into something else. I think the number one cause of atheism is Christians. That's the first thing, because people that don't walk. I actually just gave myself chills right now because I'm like, okay,
That's
I'm
100% true.
feeling
That's why I'm the way I am, because of Christians. It's
Right.
not because of the non-believers.
No,
It's because of the believers.
it's because of the people that sit there and say and talk and do, and well, they're not even doing. They're just talking. They're just running their mouths.
Mhm.
It's the legalistic crap. It's the dogma.
Yeah.
It's the you have to do this. You have to follow this rule, this rule, this rule, this rule, this rule, and you can't rule yourself into heaven. You can't, you know what I mean? And the whole thing is, it's like, how many people can I tattle on before I can or point out what wrong you're doing, as if that's going to get them closer to God. And one of the biggest things, in the Bible, it says, it's towards the end of the Bible, it says, that at the end of the day, you shouldn't judge. Like, you shouldn't be judging. And that's what happens in the church a lot. There's like all these little like micro judgments taking place. And I'm really not an organized religion person. That's
Yeah.
just where I am. But I do know that there's God, because I've experienced God, and there are things that I can't explain and nobody else can explain that have taken place, and there's absolutely no way that I could ever deny God, because there is one. So fuck may
So
be my
you can-
favorite
you
word,
can
but
have
yeah,
that?
at the end of the day,
So you can have that without knowing who you are and where you came from. Because that's where I'm at, Ice.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know who I am and where I came from. Because I
I
can't.
think that's
I
the
can't
same
give
journey.
my.
I think it's the same journey, and I think a lot of people compensate for who they are or aren't by replacing it with their opinion of what God is, because they know that they're sinners, they know that they're pieces of crap, and that's, it's like they despise in other people what they are. So they try and compensate with the over the top religious condition BS, and I think it just drives people away.
Well, that's what we talked about too, like
Yeah.
the whole hypocrisy of Christians, and the Christians that you see that, and then it off puts other Christians, right? So
Mhm.
like you have the Christians that are really into organized religion, and then you have the Christians that like how I feel, where it's like I have more of it's not a organized, it's more a relationship with God,
Yes.
and you build that relationship, and by going and building that relationship with God, you give the clarity of who I am and where I came from.
Right.
And I think that's maybe, I don't want to
Yeah.
speak for her, but like I think that's what you've been looking for. And I think it's the more of you want to know right away so you can jump in. That's why faith comes into it.
Mhm.
That's where you just want to give yourself to that. I'm not trying to preach, but it feels like I am. But I mean,
But you don't feel the same way like in a relationship when you're with a woman. I
well,
cannot give myself to a woman if I myself am not healed, or I myself am not in a place to be able to give
well,
myself.
relationship with a woman, relationship with God is two different things. You
Is
can't-
it though, bro?
You're not.
Is
You're
it
not
though, bro?
dating God. You know what I mean?
I
mean,
I
kind
know.
of. I mean,
it
it
is.
can
It's a
be the same
relationship.
I
thing.
mean,
There
could be,
is.
but I mean, maybe it's the way you
Christ
perceive
loved
it. Yeah,
us as he loved the church, and they call the church his bride.
that's true.
So it's like the whole point of and I remember sitting down when I really understood the difference between like wife and husband. So wife is just a noun, and husband is a verb and a noun. And husbands are supposed to pursue the woman, and they talk about, like, in the Bible, when you actually look at the breakdown of what all the words mean. God gave Adam a helper, and helper, what it the actual translation of that word is the same word that they used when they were talking about Jesus, and what it really meant was savior. So God gave Adam a woman to save him, not to help him, not to be subservient to him. I mean, obviously there's some subservience there, but to help him, to complete him. And so Christ needs well, Christ doesn't really need us. I don't want to like misspeak, but the church and Christ and all of that, because I mean, you got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I'm totally going into like some weeds here, but it's like this whole body. It's this whole, yeah, I'm going into the weeds. I'm like losing it. It is very similar. I think when you know who you are and you love who you are and you know God and you love God and you allow God to know you and you allow your wife and your kids and everyone, there's something about the integrity that is streamlined across all of those that helps you understand exactly who you are. And I think seeking God is also, in a way, seeking yourself because you are made in the image of God. And at the end of the day, God said, I am, I am,
I like
I
that.
am.
That's beautiful.
So you have to realize like I am, and what does that mean?
Strong.
You have to
too.
be you have to be intentional about everything that you do. Every time you step into, so I'm going to get a little scientific here, but like every morning when you wake up, I think you and I were talking about, like, we had talked on the phone, we talked about like addiction and that sort of stuff. We're all addicted to something. We
Yeah.
all have something going on in us that we need to change or we don't like. And it's not just drugs. Like I could go down this rabbit hole about processed food and drama and whatever else, but every time you choose to do something, you're reinforcing habits. So I think it's like doing something like 7 times, but if you do it like 3 times within a certain amount of, I think if you do something 3 times within like a 24 or 48-hour period, it's become a habit. And if you continue to do that at least once a day, you're reinforcing that habit. So after you've done it enough, your mind it releases signals to your body, hey, they're doing this, and this releases hormones. And so it says to your body, we need to divide these cells with more receptors on the cell for that hormone. And so, say, I could put this into just regular terms. We go through stuff like we could go through depression and all of that. Like, that's a normal thing. That's something that we all have to go through. But, like, say, like your mom dies or you go through some traumatic event and your body's just going through, you're just grieving. When you're grieving, especially, when it's something that you just can't shake, that grieving can put a lot of people feel like they get into a funk sometimes. And it's because if you like grieve long enough, your cells will divide with more receptors for cortisol and all of the hormones that come with grieving. And what happens when you're not grieving anymore and you start healing and you go back to regular life, your body goes, wait a minute, you didn't fill up all of these receptors with this hormone. So it sends a signal to your body to create some situation. And it'll usually be like you recalling or having a memory that would stimulate you to reflect on that. And it would then release that hormone again and flood those receptors. So it keeps you in this
Loop.
positive feedback loop. And so that's why
It's almost like Instagram, huh?
it's like getting out of a funk is like the same thing. Like you have to detox yourself from, you have to go, okay, what am I doing that needs to be different? What am I doing differently than what I was doing then? And so what do I need to do that changes this pattern of behavior? And like every time you remember something that happened to you, especially if it's traumatic, the more you remember it, it's actually more traumatic than the actual experience itself. The pain that you feel from it is actually worse. You recall it worse than when it actually happened the first time. And that is so that you could continue to just receptor after receptor. So if you have cells that need, let's say, 3 receptors on them, you're born with 3 receptors for whatever specific hormone, the more trauma you have or the more recollection of that trauma and sitting in that trauma, that cell keeps dividing, and it divides. The average division time is 21 days, which is why they say the first 21 days when you're an addict or an alcoholic is the worst, because you are still sitting there trying to keep from flooding those receptors with your addiction. So if you are able to detox for that first 21 days, then that cell will divide with less receptors than the last time. And then you get through another 21 days. And then if you could get through another 21 days and starve that those cells or those receptors from having those hormones flooded, then it divides again with less receptors. And so it's like you could essentially have like hundreds of receptors that were supposed to only be 3. So how long would it take for you to not be addicted to that anymore, and for it to not be a habit? And so it's the same way with everything, the way we think. You have to wake up in the morning, and you, before your feet hit the floor, you have to choose what your day is going to be. You have to choose what you're going to feel. You have to choose that, and when you start having feelings about something, that you're going to stop them in their tracks and think about something that's the exact opposite. And this is where like biblical teachings and science and medical stuff comes together, because the Bible says take your thoughts captive. And so you have to like stop and go, hey, no, I'm going to live with intention. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to do it this way because I'm in control, because your body's not supposed to control you. Your mind is. And when
When
you
did
start,
you start living like that? How long have you been in this state?
oh man, 2008.
2008.
Mm-hmm.
What did you notice change for you?
When I started doing this,
Yeah.
I think I've kind of always been like sure of myself. Like I've always like known myself. I went through I don't want to get too personal about this, cuz you know, even though like there's drama there, like I have respect for him, but like my ex-husband, that was like a really cruddy relationship, and there was a lot of narcissistic behaviors that took place and a lot of weird codependence that I'd like never been a part of before in my life. And that relationship was a crazy ride, and nothing mattered. Nothing was good enough. I changed who I was over and over and over again just so that I could be seen, just so I could be loved. And there was just this moment, and I said, I don't, this isn't me. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I think like it took until 2013, maybe 2012 to break it. So it took over 4 years for me to fully just feel like me again and just come into that. And it's actually a very painful experience to completely separate yourself from who you've allowed yourself to be, because you think that's part of who you are, but it's not. You have to like, you kind of have to choose who you are. So you have to get to this point where it's like,
I can definitely
yeah, I'm going to
relate
cross a
to that.
bridge, and which bridge am I going to burn, and which bridge am I going to cross?
What happened after high school? What direction did you go?
I was kicked out of my home by my mom. My parents were divorced when I was 9. So I was living with my mom, and she kicked me out, and I was essentially homeless for a couple years there. For a while there, I was actually like legitimately living on the streets.
And how long did that last?
On the actual streets,
Mhm.
just a couple months, but I was couch surfing for quite some time. Like I lived with a boyfriend, his parents, and him and his parents for a while, and then my dad, the pastor, with a new wife. The church is talking. They don't like that you're living with your boyfriend and his family. Come back and come stay here. And then I couldn't even get a job. Like that relationship was really weird. And my stepmom, that particular stepmother, was absolutely just unhinged.
Did you have multiple wives?
My dad,
Yeah.
yeah. My dad's on his 3rd marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just fast forward a little bit. When do you get on your feet?
Um, so I ended up leaving my dad's house, and then I went and I stayed with my cousin, and then I like lived in their garage for a while. And that was kind of a pivotal moment, like when you're trying to I wanted to go to college, and how old was I then? I was 19, and I wanted to go to college, and I enrolled at Glendale Community College, and I at the time was living in Sunland, and I couldn't afford books or anything because I didn't have a job, or like a stable job. And so I tried to get like like grants and scholarships, like student aid. And Glendale and Burbank are like on a totally different level than LA. Like they're in their own little special lane. And so in Los Angeles, where I would have been way under the, and able to get all the funding, in Glendale, I was just over. And I had to ask my parents for their tax returns even though I hadn't lived with them for 2 years, I had to ask them for their tax returns in order to apply through the FAFSA. And I was like, what the heck? And they're like, do you have a kid? Are you a single mother? No. Like, are you a ward of the state? No. And so it kind of like, I kind of started seeing like the way things were kind of, people kind of get pigeonholed into, either you're super, super, like, even if you're the poorest of poor, you can't even get help or aid. And it's like, oh, I have to like get pregnant and like be like a teen mom basically in
Like,
order
that's
for
how
me
you
to
get
get
in the
aid.
system.
Because once I get pregnant, then I don't belong to my parents. But even though my parents kicked me out, I don't do it. Was just kind of crazy. And so I got a fee waiver and I got all these books. And then they denied me and I couldn't, and I had already filed for all these classes. I remember just crying because I just wanted to learn, which is funny because I dropped out of school several times and I did independent studies. I got kicked out of school and did independent studies. Then I went back to school for a boyfriend, and then I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And then I went back on independent studies, and then I'm like, well, in between that, I did the high school exit exam when I was 16, and then I went back to school, and then I was like, screw this shit. And my mom's like, I don't want you to leave school. I want to see you walk across and graduate. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do that. I just like, and at that point I'd already started going to college when I was 14. So I'd already been with like the older crowd, and it was just so much more edifying to go to college than it was to go to high school. So you don't go to college and then go back to high school,
Right.
and then you want me to graduate.
Mhm.
And so I was like, screw it. If it makes you feel any better, I'll get a GED with that high school exit exam. She was like, not really. But then she ended up kicking me out, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so I had to wait until I was older than 21 to go to college, because it's like, have a job or go learn something, or someone has to pay for you to go get an education. And
So what do you end up studying?
so when I first went back to school, I was 20, 24, 20, I was 26 when I went back to school, and I did lots of stuff because I was a preschool teacher at that point. And so I was doing preschool, and I was like, I'm going to go be a nurse because that pays good. And so I started doing all the prerequisites for nursing, but I already had a ton of classes because I started going to college when I was 14. My mom was like paying it when I was younger. And so I already had like a ton of classes on my transcripts. So like originally it was like the arts. So it was like music, and black and white photography is like probably like my favorite, right? And then
All
I
of
started
ours.
and then I started taking prerequisites to be a nurse. And that was interesting. I was in AV, and I mean, there'd been a lot of moving between this. Like, I lived in Oregon, and then we came back to the Antelope Valley, and then I was in the Antelope Valley, and I was almost done with my associate's degree, and I transferred out here to Ventura. I had a friend that had like a lease option to buy a house, and she had a roommate who screwed her over, and she's like, "Can you guys come out here?" And I mean, we'd already been like, I had this rule, like, if we're leaving Oregon, I don't want to be stuck in the Antelope Valley, which is just oppressive and gross. This entire Everyone's gonna hear that and be like, "Oh, you're a governor of Antelope Valley too. Like, you should love Antelope Valley." It is. It's oppressive. People are like, "We'll see you. You leave. You'll be back." And I was like, "No." But I had come back like a couple times, right? And so I was like, if we're gonna be back here, we're gonna only be back here. I'm gonna become a nurse, and then we're gonna go live at the beach because I can't do this crap. And so it was kind of like my best friend at the time was like,
Yeah.
I need you to, like, I need help. And so we like dropped everything and moved in with her, and it ended up being a little bit of a shit show. And then she left, and then we were stuck with this house, and then the landlord, we found out, wasn't paying their rent. And it was like the second time I found myself in this position. And we're sitting there like in a house where the landlord hadn't paid rent, but it was a gorgeous house. It was up off Sherwood Drive, which is right above the Ventura High School, and it like you could overlook everything. It was a gorgeous house. So I mean,
Those
like,
are
if you're
good
gonna,
houses out there.
it was super
Up in
nice up
Drury
there.
Hills.
And but yeah, and I started going to Ventura College, and I continued the whole nursing thing. And then I was like, I think I want to get my BSN.
So you actually did the whole thing with nursing then. You went through for the whole.
Yeah, so I was gonna go get my RN. I had my CNA. I challenged the board for the LVN because I had enough classes, and I got my LVN challenging the LVN board. And then I was like, I think I just want to go get my BSN. So I was going to do like an LVN bridge program to like a BSN, and then a BSN to get like my master's in nursing to be like a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
And I was going to go to Cal State Channel Islands. And so I applied, and I was going to get in, and everything was all good and hunky dory. So my GPA was not the greatest because I was like stacking classes like nobody's business. I think at one point I was taking like 21 units. And it's like taking 21 units when you're taking like hardcore science classes is not
It's
wise.
tough.
It
And
is
I was
not
going.
wise.
I was doing the same thing. 18 units and going and working.
Yeah,
Going to
and I
work.
was working too. Yeah. And
It's
it's
fucking
just
tough.
Well,
it's
that's
not
why I was so. That's why I was so like not shocked, but like it's a lot to put on because I dated a girl that went through nursing, and that's no joke. It's like
It's a lot
Oh
of
my god.
memorization.
And they're like the people that teach those classes are so angry at life. My mom used to say like nurses that can't nurse anymore go and become teachers, and they were such. And I mean, when you kind of speak your mind and you do whatever, like I was getting in trouble, and they were like telling me like giving me crap grades in some of my clinics, some of these teachers, because I was helping other people. Like I would finish my rounds and go help other people, and they were like, you should do your own job and not worry about anybody else. And I'm like, yeah, but we're a team. Why would I not help other people? And oh man, this one lady was just such a I had another lady grab me by the arm and talk to me like I was like a 5-year-old, like grab me by the back of the arm. And I was sitting there, and I had to take a step out because I grew up a tomboy. I grew up, yeah, yep.
Bad lady, huh?
I wasn't. It was just I got. I mean, it was the 80s and 90s. Like I got in
Used to
fist
bang.
fights. I got in
Let's
fist
go.
fights. I was a tomboy. I was scrappy, and but I wasn't like someone that was like a bully or someone that just fought. I never started the fights. It was like I was the one that finished them. Like they called me the bully in some of the circles. So it's like if I caught you like kicking some kid's ass, I don't care if you're a dude. I don't
Did you
care
have a
if you're bigger
tomboy
than
in
me.
your group, dude?
like a girl.
Yeah, we did too. I did too. And her name was Emily Otenero. She's a Samoan chick.
Mhm.
Jennifer
Uh-huh.
Medina,
Jennifer Medina.
skinny Snoop Dogg, Latina.
Oh, this girl was skinny too. Like
She had,
normally,
she had like braids tied up like that. She'd always be coming in, ready to get down to like
Yeah.
ready. Like not starting fights, but like she got anybody's back that was like a part of our group.
Yeah.
So
That's
like
how I
the
was.
bullies bully. I guess.
and she was athletic as shit too.
The Samoan.
Yeah,
But
that's
you
how I
were
was
when
as a
Naimi.
kid.
Naimi has a lot of
Yeah,
Samoans.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was. As
So
a
did you end up? What did you end up getting a degree in?
kid. So
Or did you get?
yeah,
you finished?
I got several associate degrees. Like when I actually graduated from Ventura College, I had an AS in natural sciences, and I had a bunch of certificates, like a bunch of like holistic healthcare, holistic health certificate. I had certificates in sociology and like social work,
Oh.
which they were like, you should do social work. And I was like, I would kill somebody. Like, I would kill somebody. Like, I would bring all of the children home, and all the bodies would be in the backyard, like for everyone that was hurting them. And that was, I could not see me doing that. And I have an associate's in behavioral sciences. So that was like my biggest thing. And then I was trying to get into CSUCY for all the viewers out there, Cal State Channel Islands.
You said it correctly. He's like,
Yep. Yeah, I said that to somebody recently,
And they got offended.
They didn't know.
and she just was like, the lady was kind of weird. She was kind of a butthole to begin with, but I mean, like when I said, "Oh yeah, CSUCY," and I was talking to her, and she's just like, because she like just got a job there or something like that, and
She's all offended.
yeah, she
probably
was.
a boomer.
No, she was like young. She was like my age. I
Oh,
don't know.
really?
Like, I rub people wrong. I mean, I'm
She's
not
a
gonna lie. I
millennial?
do. I rub. There's certain, either you like me or you don't like me. There's really no in between with me.
Yeah.
It's just very. You could go from not liking me to like me, but if you go from liking me to not liking me, it's never coming back from that.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's
you-
weird.
you
You're
probably-
you're
you
in
prob-
a room of that. You're
Yeah,
in a
you
room.
probably
these,
did
these
something.
two guys.
You
that's
probably did
exactly-
something to piss me off, and I told you where to stick it. So
You know how many people unfollowed us?
Right. Yeah.
We're the
Yeah.
same
Not.
way.
It's just whatever. If you can't, if no one can hold you accountable, then you're worthless.
Wait, so what? When do you get married? What year?
Oh, so I got married in 2004.
Okay, so
I
that's
was
the first.
21.
It's
That
your
was my first marriage. Yep. That was a marriage of. So the church was like, "You guys are living in sin.
Oh, so that's a
That was
gimmick.
that gag.
Yeah, you're living in sin." And I wasn't really ready to get married. Like they kind of like wanted to have regular conversations with us. I mean, I grew up. I mean, the pastor was like a dad to me, and I was like, "This is." I said, "They're bringing us into marriage counseling without telling us it's marriage counseling."
You knew the blueprint.
Yeah, and so we showed up one day, and I sat in the parking lot, and I said, "They're gonna try and get us to get married," and he's like, "You think?" And I'm like, "No, I'm telling you right now, we need to be on the same team." And we pinky promised, and we left there, and he had already said. I remember I was sitting there at my pastor's desk, and I was crying. I said, "I don't want to get married. I'm not ready to get married. I don't want to get married." And he goes, "Well," and he said, to Mike, he goes, "Well, do you love her?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So you're already living together. Why not?" And he goes, "Oh, I guess that's true." And I'm like, "No."
Where's the pinky promise? What happened?
Yeah. Traitor. Like I was just like, what the hell? But I just sat there crying because it felt like a little bit like betrayal. And then, they talked me into it and I was like, okay, fine. And then we had like a real wedding later. And yeah, we got married on December 24th. Yeah.
Way to ruin Christmas, dude.
What?
Yeah, right.
Say, way to ruin Christmas, dude.
No, no, it's just so he would remember it.
And he still probably forgot.
Yeah, you still forget.
Yeah, and then we got married again like in September like the next year. But yeah, and so I did that. I went to school. I went to Channel Islands and I had just under the way they did it on a point system. And so, I had learned my lesson. It was kind of like, you know what? I should have not bitten off more than I could chew and focused on my studies a little bit more, not got C's and B's. If I would have like taken the load off at least one class, I probably could have got better grades and then I wouldn't be in this position. But it would have been like a year later, you know what I mean? Which was like my thing is like, I want it now. I want it now. I need to do this now. I'm like really trying to push. And, the way they did the point system was like really weird. If you had like a GPA between something and something, it was like, oh, you get 20 points. And then it's like, if it's between this and this, you get 12 points. And it's like, wait, what? Like, it was just like so weird the way they did it. And then they gave a bunch of points if you spoke Spanish or if you took Spanish, but not if you took like German or French. So if you took Spanish, then you got 12 extra points on the point system. But if you took French, you only got 4 points. And if you spoke Spanish fluently and you took at least one Spanish class, then you get like 20 points. I mean, I'm not being accurate right now. I'm just kind of giving you like a broad overview. And I would literally like missed it by 2 points being able to get into their nursing program because of the way there's like no overlap. And I was just so pissed. And I was just like,
"We
what the
win,
hell?"
gracias. There's your 2 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Discoteca. Autobus.
Okay.
You know?
Biblioteca? Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Baño.
There you go.
But yeah, and so I got kind of irritated with that. And I was also just like irritated period with everything. And I mean, at that time I was nursing. I was doing, CNA work and LVN work, and I did a lot of in-home health care. I made pretty good money doing that.
Did you do hospice?
Yes, I did some hospice stuff. I did a lot of work with developmentally disabled individuals that were doing like respite or they were trying to like integrate back into the community, and I worked a lot with mental health and addiction
Sweet.
nursing. So I did a lot of that. And I also did a lot of nursing registries because you could go and you don't have to have a set schedule. They're like, "Hey, can you come in?" It's like, yeah, I gotta come in today. It's like, "Hey, can you stay like an extra 6 hours?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take overtime." And it just made it easy for me to work around school. And I ended up saying, after doing that for a while, I said, I don't want to be a nurse anymore. I want to be a doctor. So I got into CSUCY on pre-professional, and my major was the pre-professional with a what do they call it? An emphasis in genetics and neurology. My minor was in social business, and I was double majoring, and I was doing behavioral sciences for that one too, clinical behavioral sciences,
That's
and
awesome.
had an emphasis in personality theory.
Mm.
So my team building skills are impeccable. Like, people don't like it because I could sit there and I just watch them and I'll be able to read them, and I'm like, oh, who touched you at this age, and like, what's going on here? They don't like it, and I've had several people. It's typically men. They go, stop psychoanalyzing me, and it's like, the fact that you think it's psychoanalyzing tells me that I'm on the right path. But yeah, that's what I did before that, and I just got so burned out with the medical field, just so stinking burned out. And I was like, I was like one class physics, which I'm not good at
Yeah,
math.
well,
I'm not good at physics.
it's the worst.
One class away from getting the okay to take the MCATs, and I was like, I had to work. Like, my husband wasn't really working at the time, and I had already had my son, and we had separated, and then I got pregnant, and we got back together, and
Is
trying
this still
to
the first husband?
yeah, trying to juggle a kid and potential med school and working all the jobs was a lot. He was unemployed and insisted on being unemployed, and I like never saw my kid, and I couldn't afford to go to school anymore, and I was just sick of the nursing sector, and I said, you know what I miss? Sales. Like, I used to sell cars back in the day, and I was like, you know what? You go hang out with a team of dudes, and they're like, yeah, Amanda, let's do this. Like, let's get a spiff over here. Let's go do this. Like, there's so much support. There's so
Yeah.
much support in a sales team with like a bunch of dudes than there was working on a floor with a bunch of nurses that they're supposed to be changing the world and saving lives. It blew my mind. I was like, this
And they're
is
all
just
upset
so
or mad about something.
totally. It's a control thing. It's a
So
control problem.
What I don't know, a few months ago it came out that the number one profession for cheaters is nurses. Did you witness any of that?
Witness cheaters.
Yeah, well, they said the number one profession where the majority of that profession cheats are nurses. Did you ever witness that? And would you understand why that would be?
I think it's because when you have a mate, they don't exactly understand like what you're going through. I guess it depends on what the profession of the husband, or there are male nurses, so excuse me
Yeah,
for
it
being
could be that too.
but I think the medical field period.
Yeah. Like when I was a caregiver, that was
The medical field period has some like weird stuff
yeah.
in it.
Like
well-
they're all like sexed up or what?
When I was a caregiver at an elderly home, I was like the med staff. Like my caregivers would always, I mean, this was being funny as being man for that would they would be like, hey, you know, and like their husband would come pick it up. I'm like, oh my God, you're married. It's rough, right? And then a lot of these people, especially the nurses, like their husbands are like not working, or you know, or they're working something and they don't see each other. It's a lot.
They never see each other, and there's
Yeah.
not. I mean, in my relationship, it was pretty volatile, but he would always act like I was cheating, even when I wasn't. He's like, cheating. He's like, you must be cheating. Are you into this person? Are you into this? It's like, no, it's just somebody that I work with. And it's funny that you're bringing this up because my husband now is so he's a doctor. He's the medical. He's the.
Oh,
He's
you
a
got
doctor.
a doctor.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, my ex-husband was like, you're gonna become a nurse or a doctor, and you're gonna go and you're gonna leave me for another doctor. And I was like, no.
He called it.
Called it. But was he cheating though?
Tim Stradamus.
So I caught stuff. He also had a porn problem, big time,
Yeah.
big time. And if I have to beg you to have sex with me, I told him I was like,
Over
would
that.
kinda
Okay.
that would kind of like
Wait,
end
so
things.
oh, I can't. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
So can we not put that?
yeah, we can
Okay.
edit that.
Yeah, we can edit that out.
Great clap.
Yeah.
Edit.
But yeah, there were issues there, and so we were separated. We were separated. There's more than once that I was like, just stop treating me like your wife. I'm not your wife, and I didn't want to divorce him because I was paying for everything. And then you're home and you're with my kid, and I'm paying for your food, and I'm paying for all this other stuff.
So a lot of resentment
And the
built
tech,
up.
oh, there's a ton of resentment,
Yeah,
and there
that's
was an
what it
abusive
was.
relationship, and
Yeah.
it was physically abusive, and it was.
And then
it-
he's accusing you of doing things.
yeah,
so
he's
it's just
like,
build
even
up.
when I
It
wasn't
was
doing anything.
insecurity. It was a
Big
mixture of
insecurity, big
and
insecurity.
buildup,
And he's also
yeah.
a narcissist, so
Yeah, it was a ton of insecurity there, and And so it was like I could never do anything right, and he used to hate it when I would say that. But I was like, I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. Do you guys are you familiar with Jordan Peterson?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, when he talks about like, a man that, no, it's kind of crazy because my ex-husband, he's a good-looking guy. He's like 6'7". He's a good-looking guy. He's got it going on. He was like a male model before, but he's just broken. You know what I mean? And so, but that insecurity, and I would even go as far to say that he was the more attractive one in our relationship, but he was just so like possessive, like you are mine, even though I'm not going to treat you like you're mine, like even though I'm not going to do anything about it. Like he was just so possessive that it was just such a turn off. And it was just after a while, it was like, you don't see me, you don't want me, I'm not good enough, I'm not, and it like tore me down big time. And I don't know. It just, all of it was bad. There was a lot of accusations about a lot of things, and it was a lot of stuff that I or other people had caught him doing. And so it was like after I had my son, I thought like maybe that was like God saying, because I had fertility problems big time for a long time. Like my son's like a miracle baby. And so after you lose like 6 babies, once you have this one baby and you're like begging God, please let me keep it, or let this be a false positive, because you're like, oh, my body's a baby killing factory. Once I got pregnant with him, I was like, okay, God, are you saying that I need to like give this whole thing another chance? And nope. So that was a big fatty no. I mean, maybe I don't know what God was trying to do for him, but I mean, he's just now really like found like God and religion, and it's kind of, and I'm really happy for him. And I'm proud of him.
Amen.
He's actually more probably religious, if you would call it that, than I am. But he's like actively seeking, so that's a good thing, and we've got a good relationship now. But fast forward, I was a caretaker for this woman, and my husband at the time and I were separated. And I remember the first time I met him, and it's like my soul stood up when I saw him walk through the door, and it was just the back of him.
Your current husband.
Yeah. And I was talking about, they were asking me, I was talking to someone in the living room, and he was asking me what kind of doctor I'm going to be. And I was talking about how the mind isn't absent from the body, and the body is not absent from the mind. And my now husband Oli walked through the door, and he was eavesdropping, and he around, and he said, and the body is not absent from the mind, like interrupted me, and then turned around, and I was like,
oh yeah.
Is he British?
He's Danish.
Damn, he'd been fucking on if he was British. A doctor, clever, and British.
Viking? No, I mean, come on though.
Oh, yeah, Vikings go too.
He's then Northern European, so it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So he and I was just like, whoa. And Mike and I were separated, and I was sitting there, and then he comes over. He goes, "Oh, hi, I'm Oli.
Fuck yeah.
I'm so and so's. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm so and so's husband." And it was like,
Oh, boner killer.
Yeah, totally. And I was like, okay, professional mode.
Yeah, right.
And we became close. We became friends, but I was professional like the whole time. And I will say this: when I got pregnant with my son, you have like weird dreams that you can't control. There were a couple that were him, and I was just like, it was like Bruce Willis and him, and I was just like, oh man, dude.
You know party. You party in your dreams.
I love that.
Super random. It was super random. You know what I'm talking about?
They were separate.
What?
Was it
Same time or separate dreams?
Oh no, separate dreams.
Oh, okay.
Just
I was like, whoa.
That's why I was like, wait, I mean, no
Hey,
shame in the
man.
game. If they're both
dreaming
in there,
that's cool.
hell yeah, that's a party. Well,
I'm saying
good
that.
for you.
Yeah, party.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great, man. But yeah, and so we became really good friends, and it was all professional. It was whatever, and it was, I got pregnant with Ezra. I left. I didn't want to go back to work because his wife was absolutely great. Her mother was absolutely out of control. And I was like, I can't do that. And he's like, you were like one of the best nurses that we've had. Like, please just think about it. And so
was his mom working there too?
Whose mom?
I'm so confused. You said his mom was out of.
No. The woman that I was caring for, his wife,
Got
her
it.
mother.
Got it.
Yeah, there was like a weird mommy dearest thing going on there that was just like, whoa, man, like these people, like when you work in home healthcare, it's like the family.
Oh my God.
They become family, but it's also like a nightmare because there was this one time like they were out here in Oxnard and like, and I was I would go to work for them. Their house was in Santa Barbara and they're like out vacationing in Oxnard, which I'm like, that's so weird. They're vacationing in Oxnard and they called me on the weekend on my day off and they're like, hey, I'm just gonna go bleep because I don't want to say her name. Don't want to give her any glory. Bleep wants to get into the spa over here. Can you just like leave home and come help? And I was like, no. And they're like, why not? And I'm like,
My day off.
it's my fucking day off.
Yeah.
And like,
I'm
well,
not gonna work
why?
on my day off. Yeah.
They're like, why? I was like, okay, well, let's just put it this way. Like the medication you're on, you probably shouldn't be in a hot tub. And I'm not your bitch. There's that part right there.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
That's the
I can't
big
believe this
part.
crap. Yeah,
See, that's the part.
that-
lead
that's
with
the
that
main
one.
part.
Yeah.
That's
We're
we're
leading
we're
with
gonna
that.
lead with that. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what's in the
First
middle.
of all, I ain't a bitch. Let's get this
That's
out.
a leading
Second
story.
of all, I ain't your bitch.
Well, they take advantage because I used to do that.
Oh yeah.
With Moy, I used to do that. I used to be in the field. There was a kiddo that I would work. He's quadriplegic, and the family would abuse the time because I didn't get paid overtime. I was only scheduled hours.
Right.
Didn't they give you like hundreds at a time though?
They would give me. They would start. They wanted to give me money under the table, and you're not supposed to take gifts. You're not supposed to. Take
Yeah, but
any
you're
of
like a little shithead kid at the time.
that. Well, I didn't know any better, so I was like thinking.
Did you take the money?
I took $20 one time.
Oh, I thought they were giving you hundreds.
No, fuck, no, they didn't give me. And then at a certain point, I was like, I want to leave. So they were, and then remember he was 21. He's like, hey, we want to pay for your trip. You know, he's turning 21. We go to Vegas. We'll cover everything. And I go, I don't want to work on the weekend, and I'm not gonna have any fun because I'm gonna be babysitting him. There was like they wanted to get him like an escort and all these weird. I was like, I don't want any part of none of this. And people just want to take advantage of you, and then you have to establish a boundary. Like you said, one of them, I'm not a bitch, and then second of all, I'm not their bitch. So what ended up happening is that they ended up like telling on me that I took $20 at one time, and then I got fired.
Oh, that's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's
They
the
go,
sort of
oh, we
stuff.
gave, because then I asked to have another partner or another
Family.
person, another family or another person, and I told them I was quitting, and they're like, all right, cool, so we're sad to see you leave, and then they found out that I was actually working with somebody else, and then when they got pissed, and then they go, well, Isaac, we gave him money, and then they brought me in because I was in for a promotion. I was gonna be a caseworker for the company I was working with.
So what happened? You said, did you?
That's when I was living here.
Okay. Did they say, oh, you got money? Did you take money? What did you say?
They did the whole investigation, and I had to go in there and I tell them like, yeah, there was this one time they gave me money, but I didn't know.
Wait, are you dumb?
No. I told.
Watch, you do it to me. You be the guy. Call me into your office. Go.
Yeah, come in the office, Tim.
Hi.
So, yeah. So,
Am I in trouble?
you may be.
Oh, okay.
Did you take money from this family?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Thank bye.
Then.
Damn.
See how that
Yeah,
works, dude?
you know.
I got my job.
I was 20-something years old at the time, so.
You don't got your job. I'll be you now. Okay. Do it again.
Okay. Hey, Isaac, come in the office.
Duh.
Yeah. Did you take money from those people?
Yup.
Perfect. You're fired. Thank you. I was young, man. I was 20-something years old, and remember that time. Man, that time that was a whole. I
You're
was all
just
fucked up.
crazy
Yeah.
at the time.
Anyway, I digress. Yeah.
Well, could you imagine if you went to Vegas and there was an escort, like you left?
I don't even know
how
that
these
happened.
stories blow up. It's like then it was like a gangbang with Isaac and the quadriplegic.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it's like, oh, that is patient abuse. And then they slap you with
And I'm in jail now.
$5,000. Yeah. And then you're in jail and you're like, I was just standing there watching. Like I was just supposed to be his caregiver.
I mean, to be honest, I
I didn't
probably
mean to like
watching,
take his whole arm and like have him pinch the chick's butt. You know what I mean? Like
Well, yeah,
that's what he
he
wanted.
couldn't-
Like that's my job.
He couldn't move, so I was like,
Yeah.
I was.
Could he feel?
You know what's crazy is that we became so close because, like you said, his family. So and he had really low motor skills, so he could say a couple words or noises, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. So I would take him on the bus. I took him to college. Took him to Ventura College. I made him with friends. And so sometimes he would be like, Can you put me in bed and can you put porno for me? And I was like, that's a weird request. But at that point we became boys. So I go, you know what? I know you have urges. Okay, I'll help you out. And I want to have his dignity, right? So he was trying to help me out. And then one day I was passing by, I go, hey man, like, what does that do for you? He goes, he can make himself with his mind. And I was like,
Where
good
there's
for,
a will, there's a
I was
way.
like, good for you, my man.
I guarantee you, if I was a quadriplegic, I would make that happen too.
yeah.
And I don't. I guess what? I don't have nothing to do but make myself come. I'm gonna eventually make it myself come. Yeah, dude. I'm praying on Yoda in this shit.
But I drew the line when it came to
No,
that.
try, do.
Use the force.
That's right.
I had to draw the line when it came to that because at first it sounded fun, but then I go, wait a minute, like you said, like what if this happens? What if that? I'm the one that's supposed to be giving him.
I don't know, man. I think I would do it.
I was tempted, bro. Like it had a truck and everything. They were ready to go, and
Oh no, not that, not go. I would continue to put the porn on for him.
I did until it was.
You know, he used to listen to a show, right?
Oh yeah.
And he used to, I guess
We did a public service announcement.
No, but even after you left, I remember his sister or something or some. No, they. I guess they called the show, and then it's F. Isaac.
Oh,
There's a Moy, and then I wasn't sure if like people were just messing around or I thought it was you. Or...
I run into him. He's out there. Everyone. I kind of see. I don't want to run into the family because we have a. Yeah, that it was so bad.
Yeah, I saw him one time too, and he like recognized me. What did I do, dude?
Yeah.
And like it's just a weird situation. He's like making noises as I'm walking by.
Yeah.
I'm like.
Yeah. Give him the Forrest Gump wave.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if it was him or just another dude that, it's been so long. And I think it's him, and I don't know, whatever.
Anyway.
Oh, wait, I want to fast forward this. I want to go, what happened? Like, what made you get into running for governor? What brought you to the brink? And, I mean, you are a strong woman.
Mm-hmm.
You are definitely, you are hard working, and you get your shit done, and you're goal driven by your life. I want to know what brought you to this point.
So I'm gonna have to like kind of go back and almost like finish the story a little bit about like the Channel Islands and like that. So I was when I was doing the pre-professional studies, the double majoring and all of that, I was sitting in a social business class, and people think that that's about like they're like, oh, socialism, and it's like no. It's like the true it's like true capitalism. It's like the purest form of capitalism without all the perversion that it's become. And like true capitalism is you have everyone has their job and they do their job and everyone makes money and they all work within a community, and the community has it's like a circular economy. And we've fallen away from that big time. I mean, you should be able to make as much money as you want and do what, all of that, but it's all kind of become perverted, and now it's, you've got all the lobbying and all of that sort of stuff.
Don't get me started.
So I was sitting there in this class, and it really was like speaking to, the part of me that was like, so what I really wanted to do was I wanted to be a doctor, and I wanted to have a clinic that treated everybody as a whole. You're not treating like whole with a W, treating everyone as who they are, not a symptom, not a number. Like I remember when I worked in the hospital, when I worked at Antelope Valley Hospital, I remember that there was a man and he had passed away, and we were, getting him ready for the morgue, and I had to go up and help the security guard with him, and they kept calling him room number, bed number, and it drove me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that person, even though their family's not standing there, like, like it's your character, it's who you are when nobody is watching you, and how you treat people and how you treat things. You're treating them for who they are, right? You're treating them as a person, regardless of whatever. Like they don't have their life anymore, and this is their shell, and you should be respectful of their shell. And it's kind of the way I was looking at. We're all just numbers everywhere, and I wanted to open a clinic that treated people as a whole. And because I was looking at it from like from a perspective of treating the whole body, because you treat the mind, the mind, it was more of like a psychoneural endocrinology approach, where it's like, what you think and the hormones and all of that, because we have so many illnesses and they're being treated for the symptoms, and they're not being treated for the simple fact that somebody needs to go to church. So I wanted to look at every single person. I want to know.
Mean?
So sometimes people just need to believe something and have hope in something, because there have been like studies that have been done where you could tell cancer patients, I mean, there's some very unethical studies that have been out there where you tell a cancer patient that there's a special, there's a procedure, and this is a life-saving procedure, and if they have a little bit of hope, it actually starts healing them, like positive thoughts. I know it sounds super woo-woo, but it's
No,
not.
I'm not talking
It's-
about that, but I understand that in positive thoughts. But like when you tell somebody church, you need church to be better.
Because you need community, and you, which is basically communing, like it's unity with many people. And this coming from someone who's like, get off my property, and like I don't want to have neighbors too close to me, like I'm, as I get older, I'm more that person, but we do need to have more insight. We need to have more community. So families, the family structure, like eating around the dinner table, having that, looking in somebody's eyes, that empathy that grows your frontal lobe, and all of that helps you be a better person. It helps you have better mental health, and the better your mental health is, the less likely you are to have any other types of illnesses. Because the condition of your thoughts is a big one. How you view the world is a big one. Having hope and belief, it's big. You have to have something to look forward to. You have to have something that goes, oh no, I believe in this. This is good. This is going somewhere good. And this is, but if everything is just drudgery and doubt and all of this other stuff, you're turning yourself inward. And there was this, it was actually my ex-boyfriend's dad. He's a pastor. And he had this sermon this one time. I want to say I was like 19 or 20. And he sat there, and the name of the church was called The Community, which is just funny right now. And he was telling this story, and he said, when you are imagining like a caricature, like a cartoon character, and they're depressed, what do you imagine? And like he sat on the edge of the stage, and you're looking down. You're looking inward. You're like obsessed. It's selfish. You're obsessing over your own bullshit, and you're ruminating on your own crap. But when you look ahead, and it's crazy, when you're looking at your feet all the time, you actually trip more when you're walking. But if you're looking directly ahead, then you stand up straighter, and you walk straighter, and there's something about it. And it's the same thing like when you're driving. Like you don't teach a driver to look right in front of them. You tell them to look up on the horizon, and you could see what's coming, like instead of like turning, like, you know what I mean, like you're jerking all over the place. And then it's this looking, if you have something to look forward to, then you have a better outlook. You are less likely to get sick. You are less likely to get cancer. So getting illnesses, getting illnesses come back to three things, but two main things, and it's the condition of your thoughts and the condition of your gut. Those are the two things. And then the third thing for me, honestly, is your environment, which brings me to the next part of all of this. Like, so I was taking that class, and I wanted to build clinics that treated people as a whole, and I wanted to also build clinics in other countries. And when I started talking to contractors, they're like, didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, but you can't be, I started noticing that. So one of the most crazy bacteria there is, it's called Pseudomonas, and it's a gram-negative bacteria, and it can grow on hospital soap. And people come into the hospital sick, and they get sicker with this type of bacteria, and it's very hard to kill because this bacteria is almost like a superbug, and it gets in people's stuff, and it's just like, it just wreaks havoc. And it was like, you know what, sometimes being too sterile, being clean, and it's almost like the legalistic sort of church thing, being so clean and so prim and proper and not letting anything get in, you're working against nature. You're taking away the parts that, whatever you believe, but creation, God, whatever, put there for you to commune with and be able to be a more healthy person. And so how do you go into like another country or somewhere, and it is so expensive to like build, especially stuff where you're just keeping all the crap out, but you're also keeping the crap in. And so how do you work in like, third world countries? Like, how do you build a clinic in a third world country that is sterile? it just doesn't make sense. And so I started looking into like, okay, how do we start building stuff? And at that point I was getting sick of working with a bunch of stuck up women, old biddies. And I said, and I couldn't really afford to go to school anymore. And I'm like, I'm going on hiatus. I quit my job. I walked away from, and at that point, well, I got fired from one job because I caught somebody embezzling. And that job was a big job. I was like on Wilshire Boulevard, and I was working for the stars and like political people doing like very calculated nursing, in-home nursing stuff. But when all of that happened, I was like, okay, I need to go back to some basics. And what is it that I want to do? Okay, I want to get into some sort of something where I understand regenerative building, because if I'm going to be a doctor in the future, I want to know what I'm putting in the walls and how these lights are staying on and how everything's happening in these rural areas, or even in the States, in areas where things are a little bit rougher and it's usually more expensive, even though things are cheaper. But if you're looking at like urban areas, things are super expensive, and it's crazy because it's like, I don't know, I don't want to go into the weeds here again, but it's like they try to keep people poor. And so how do I go and work with nature and help keep people healthy? And I want to know it. I want to know how to do it. I want to know who to look for. Maybe I should look into just doing it myself, because if you want something done right, you do it yourself. And so I took a job working for a solar company and knocking doors, lost a jack ton of weight. And I just had time to just think and be and talk to people about what they care about when it comes to like healthy homes and the environment. And then I took a job out here in Ventura working for a construction company, and they ended up firing me for being pregnant, but I was like damn near taking over that entire company because they were like kind of under the gun. And next thing I know, I'm working myself up. First I have a sales crew and I teach them to do all the stuff and then next thing I know, I'm bidding, and then I'm designing solar, and then I'm designing like houses and structures that the solar can go on. Wow. And then I'm learning about permitting, because there's only like 2 of us in the damn office, and they're working me to death. And when they're like, hey, why did you take this day off even though I'm salaried and my kid had to go to the dentist, I was like, I don't think I should be working here. And then I got pregnant with Lizzie. I don't know if I want to say her name yet. I got pregnant with my daughter. Right. and out of wedlock. There was that. And still undivorced, which I'm sure will probably come up somewhere in my campaign, because they're gonna be like, hooker. But
she got my vote again.
But yeah, so I was just looking into stuff, and the more I learned, the further it's like I was learning it because I wanted to learn about what could keep us healthy and what can go down that road. So I end up getting fired for being pregnant. I go on bed rest because, I'd had 2 other miscarriages between my son and her, and I just had time to think, and I started a construction company. I went to Women's Economic Ventures, and they helped me teach me to like legitimately write a business plan, which is such a pain in the ass. And I started a construction company, a woman-owned construction company, and I started pushing towards how do I build it to be healthy so that I could speak to this part, because you have to be able to control your environment to better control your thoughts and to better control your gut. And that took me to soil health, and that took me to water, and it took me to the quality of our food, and it took me to all of this other stuff. And I'm watching Newsom up there with his bullshit, and I'm watching all of this other stuff, and I'm just listening, and I'm seeing our towns burning down. We were in the Thomas fire. Our house didn't burn down, but it like came like to the back doors of our house, and I had to go back to Lancaster with all of my damn animals to my grandparents' house, and we were there for like a month.
2019.
Yeah.
18, 19?
It was
So
18.
Thomas? Yeah, because Thomas.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was 18. It was the end of. It was 2017, wasn't it?
It was because yes.
It was November of 2017.
So 17.
Yeah. I was a volunteer firefighter that time.
Yeah, and I learned. So then I'm in this construction company, and I go to a Thomas fire workshop, And it was put on by the Green Building Council out here. And there are these MFers from oh god, dude, it's just so cringy, from Santa Barbara, talking about all the damn amounts of money that they have, because they still had, they're like, well, we had to use our own personal money, you know, as our own personal stash. And he's like talking about all this, talking about yeah, totally. Oh god, dude, I was just like, the hell is happening here? But they're talking about like, oh, this is how we had to rebuild. And I don't know if you know anything about the permitting and processing. Like, Santa Barbara is one of the worst. Like, I swear to God, the neighbors will go, what you doing over there? And then they'll call the permitting department and be like, this bitch has the audacity to paint their house teal. This does not match my car in my driveway. Like, they're like, that's how they are. And they will, like, literally, they stopped a project from happening from a daycare because someone could see the daycare, the playground, through the slats of their fence, and they did not like that it had too many colors.
Oh,
they wanted
Lord.
the colors to be neutral. I'm sorry, the daycare had special needs kids. You're telling me that you're going to deny a bunch of autistic children and special needs children the very thing that helps them
Stimulate.
stimulate them
Everybody
into
just
learning.
wants to be freaking heard now, huh? It doesn't even matter what it is. Everyone just wants to, like, their voice heard of something. Like, they want to spot something out and then hear.
No, they want to hear themselves.
Yeah, they want. I think that's
They
what
don't wanna be
yeah.
Because
Heard.
we're experiencing this in Ventura. We have all these transplants come in, and they want to change our culture. They want to change our town, and I'm fed up with it. And I'm sorry,
No, it's fine. Well, and the thing is too, it's like kind of like back to kind of the church thing that we were talking about. It's one thing if it's tradition. It's another thing if it's ritual. And trying to change people's, like, I have no problem not being ritualistic, but once you start treading on the tradition and what it is, it's like you kind of got to, like, assimilate a little bit to
Right.
whatever you're going into. And you could bring your culture, you could bring your traditions all you want, because that should make us richer,
Right.
our communities richer, right? And that's the whole point of diversity. But if you're coming in with your rituals and you're saying, no, I want you to do this ritual exactly this way, and it's like, it's not going to work that
I
way.
just think we're different. I think Ventura is different.
Oh no, it totally is. It's mom and pop compared to all this corporate crap that's in the rest of everything
and I
else.
think that we're losing it.
We're losing it. Yeah.
We're losing it. And guess what? I've been all over the world.
Mhm.
Very, very few places I've seen like Ventura.
Someone referred to Ventura one time to me as poor man's Santa Barbara, and I was
I'll
like,
take it.
all right, but at least it's not the bubble. Like, you
Yeah.
can feel the Santa Barbara bubble, like, as soon as
Yeah.
you hit, you're like right around Montecito, and like, there used to be like 2 palm trees, and I'm like, oh, I'm here. And it's like suddenly everyone's slamming on the brakes because they don't know how to drive, and you're just in the Santa Barbara bubble, and it's like people are just so delusional. Santa Barbara, I don't know what it is.
I love Ventura because it's so different communities, and like it's a different vibe in every little. So Midtown has a different vibe. Downtown has a different
Oh
vibe.
yeah, totally.
The Avenue has a different vibe. Even going up to the Ojai, that's a different vibe.
Yep.
Going down up to here into like the Oxnard area, it has a whole different vibe. But like, and then when everyone asks, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm right here," and then no one's like saying, unless you're like from Spanish Hills or something, like, you know,
Right.
like it's like. It's just a different vibe. It's not like that when everyone says Santa Barbara, it's like, oh, Santa Barbara. You know what I mean? Because it's all the same. It's all the
Right.
same thing.
And you even got millionaires coming down from Ojai. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
not a millionaire thing. It's not a rich thing. It's I mean, who's that dude? Barenthal. He comes down all the time.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was supposed to be on our show a while back, but now I know why. He disappeared right around the time he probably was filming the Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah.
That's probably why he couldn't come.
So okay, so now we're at the we're
You're
building.
like, I had enough of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I've had enough of it. So my daughter was born. My daughter has Down syndrome, so I have to be really, like, mindful of, like, just what I put into her body and what's around her. And I think COVID was kind of like a moment where it was like the first couple of weeks I was like, holy crap! I was like Lysoling everything, like every Amazon box that came in, I was like Lysoling it, because it's like her lungs. If something happens, like, it could kill her. Like what they were describing COVID to be, I was like, this could kill.
Listen, if
me
you
and my
put
kid.
bleach inside, it's okay. You clear you clear everything. It's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, with
Yeah.
like no splash. Like let's just use like the thickest bleach we've got. But it just, I think that kind of like, that was kind of eye opening, and it also allowed me to, like, just be one with my family.
Yeah.
It did kind of like screw us up because I think by day 3 I was like feeding the kids dinner at like 3 a.m. and it's like, it's a free for all. Like, who the hell cares? Like,
Right.
we were like no bread. We were like no bread for 2 years, and then COVID happened, and I'm like, Pop-Tarts it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's like suddenly it's like it didn't even matter, and so it's just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I do feel like it was planned.
Well, COVID showed a lot of people their true colors, and it showed a lot of people like how we are and how we should be or how we shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but it also
what's not working.
Right. And what's
with
not
society
working.
and the system.
And not only that, but then this dude, the governor, is like having his little parties and he's not wearing masks.
You saw people with power. You saw them real fast change. My
Yes.
grandfather used to tell me this one thing, and this is one of the reasons why I think I found success in this avenue. He used to tell me, "Give a man power, you see who he truly is."
Exactly.
And I always remembered that. And I remember like being eventually in this spot, in my spot. I could have taken advantage of women. I could have taken advantage of people, and I could have jacked people for money and pretended this game. I didn't. I did this for our community. So when I see Gavin Newsom given this power, he's doing it to play up his political side rather than protect his people.
Sure.
He doesn't
That's
care
how
about
I
the people.
viewed it.
It's about it's not even about your constituents. I think if they took all the lobbying out of politics and they gave vouchers for every person, they could raise money so you could choose the candidate that you want to put money behind with like $50 each person, and it gets $50. You could put it behind that candidate, and so it just starts with ideas, and then they can't sit there and lobby. Have you heard of oh man, I'm drawing a blank now, and I was thinking I want to talk about this, the Anti-Corruption Act. They're trying to push the Anti-Corruption Act.
What does this mean?
So the Anti-Corruption Act
And
is
who's
like,
pushing it?
it was actually US 8 years ago or something like that. What is her name? Jennifer Lawrence put out this like this black and white video talking about the Anti-Corruption Act, and she talked about, well, they were talking about like politicians. So they were saying something like the amount of money that politicians raise to run and win is something like $40,000 a day, 365 days a year for 6 years.
Wow.
Is the amount of money that it takes to actually run and win. And I was like, damn. Because who's going to give you that money? It's the corrupt. It's whoever is lobbying to get these policies pushed through or these bills. And then they were also talking about like, if there's no support from the people, there's zero support from the people, Congress will push through 30% of the bills. And if there's 100% support of the people, Congress will push through 30% of the bills. So they don't even hear the constituents. They don't even hear the people.
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't. They're only going based on what everyone else is doing, and that's not me. That's not me. That's not my thing.
So then where does this epiphany come from where like now you're doing this and then now it's like I'm going to run for governor? How does that happen?
How do you even decide that?
Yeah.
I was going to run for Senate like a while back, and everyone's like, you should do it. And I was like, like when I saw that it was like $30,000 or something, there was like, you had to raise like up to $30,000. I was just like, I don't know. Also, like I'm a specific type of person, and I'm like, I've always joked on social media, like I'll post something and then I'll put like reasons why I'll never be president or reasons why I'll never be governor. And I've done that for like as long as social media is around, which is funny. Like I actually have a picture from when I was running up in the hills in Ventura, and there's a picture, Allie may have seen it, but there's a picture that a friend took of me, and there's like a no dumping sign, and you see like Ventura, like you see the beach and like the like I'm up in the hills, but there's a no dumping sign, and I grabbed a newspaper and I pulled my pants down and I was like squatting like I was reading a newspaper in my jogging outfit.
We want you to win, so we're cutting that out too.
All of my friends have joked. They're like, no, I'm going to take
find
that. No, yeah, no, find it. And all my friends are like, no, we're going to get that and we're going to make it into a lawn sign so it looks like you're squatting on the front lawn.
And they're
And then we're
pooping
going
in
to put Amanda for governor, you know, because she doesn't take any shit from anybody. Like over here, don't tell me where to dump. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was funny. Anyway, but
I'm American. I dump where I want.
America, like, tell me what to do. But yeah, so the epiphany, it was right around the time with the whole recall for Newsom was, I think, a big one.
So 21.
Somewhere around there, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I was so angry. And honestly, you know what really pushed me to run? When I thought for a second that Kamala Harris might run, I was like, I think I might want to really try and actually raise money to do this because I want to debate her.
Okay, so
You would easily beat her.
I want to debate her.
So I have a question. I had a guest on a few weeks back.
Mhm.
Talking about.
No, I'm not. I don't want to bring any names. All right. I haven't released it yet.
I know who it is.
Yeah. So there's a conversation, and this, obviously these people are super far left, and she made an exclamation that the reason why Kamala isn't president is because America's too sexist and racist.
No, she's a dipshit.
So, all right, and this
Hold on.
is, this
Dip.
is my
Shit.
Wait. Go. Cue your camera.
Oh, okay.
and do it again for the camera.
Oh,
Dipshit.
Oh.
Yeah,
the
it's
reason
on you.
Kamala Harris didn't win
Yeah.
is because she's a dipshit.
yeah.
There you
A
go.
dip.
Perfect.
Shit.
Yes.
She didn't say much. Okay, and
Oh, she
I don't
said
like
stuff.
I don't like being gaslit. I'm gonna be 100% transparent. In this last election, I did not vote Democrat. Normally, that was my ties. Is Democrat. But when I saw people like RFK talking, and how can anybody be against what RFK is doing right now? But there are people who are against it.
Well, and they're pissed off at him too. Sorry to interrupt. I'm
No,
sorry.
go for it.
A lot of the people on the left loved Bobby Kennedy, and now they're like pissed off at him because he's like working with Trump, and he's working. And I'm like, you know what? Like, if you believe something, who the heck cares who else is in the room? Don't you want to get it done? Like, people are like, well, why are you running for this or that? Or why aren't you? Someone said to me, if Steve Hilton wins, and they like know Steve Hilton supposedly, if he wins, you want me to give him a call? Like, you could work with him. Like, why don't you just stop this governor nonsense and then just get behind him and he could give you a job? I said, he's not going to know me if I don't have this platform.
Right.
And I'm not against working with anybody. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you go, oh my God, Amanda has some good ideas. What's good for California is good for California. It doesn't matter what your politics are. If it's a good idea and it's good for California and the people are going to thrive, I'm not going to not do it because someone else, I'm going to have to work with somebody else. I mean, there are some people where I'm just like, absolutely like, that's a full stop. But in a position of power, I don't even like saying that, a position of influence like the governor, you could get a lot of stuff done. You get a lot of stuff done, which is why I'm not running local, because I feel like local's just like, you're just like pushing paper around. Like, you know, when a kid doesn't want to eat their shit on their plate and they're just like spreading it out apart. So it's like, oh, look, it looks like less. And it's like, no, it's the same crap, but you're just putting it somewhere else. That's what local government does.
I mean, local government right now in this town, I'm not in my town, in Oxnard, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Ventura either. I'm going to give you a story. Back in 2015-14, I was doing an event. It was at the museum. We needed to get a drinking permit, a bar permit, right? It was a liquor
license.
Liquor license. You can get one for a day. You have to pay money, right? Whatever. 2 months before the awards. So I turned this in July. My awards are in September. The day before, I was like, oh shit, we didn't get it. It's like, hey, oh, they went home. You should have got it in earlier. Well, you guys said 60 days before, right? It's been over 60 days. And you're like, if you want it, we're going to have to call somebody in from overtime. And yet, so we need like $500, $750. They made me, and I don't even know, I just wrote a check. They held it hostage. Because they knew that I would pay it no matter what. This is what's happening in our government. What's happening in Oxnard, guess what? They give away these grants. So we were like, all right, I'm going to take the music awards from Ventura because I just got jacked for all that money to Oxnard. I go apply for one of those grants, and they deny me. So okay, cool. Then you go and look at the people who got the grants, and then you match the last names to the people that are on the board. They're giving the money to their families.
That's like the That's
It's
like
a gangster shit.
It's like it's almost it's kind of mobby.
Politics is a big mob. Like, I think that we need this is one of the things I think we need to establish as a nation. Like, what matters? What really matters? Is
Right.
life matter? Because if life matters, let's do it.
Right.
But if money matters, let's do it. Let's not play this game where we're like, oh, life matters, but money matters. You know what I mean? Let's
Right.
let's all go, because what they're showing us right now through there's no accountability. They're showing us Gavin Newsom just in this town. He's lost billions of dollars to China because they scammed him over that PPE equipment in 2020. He shut down our whole economy and ruined so many mom and pop stores. The only
Right.
people that survived were essential businesses like McDonald's, right? But not like places like Miss Olson's that used to be over on the other side in Hollywood Beach. You had the fires go down. You have homelessness. You know, he's in a 20-year plan for his 10-year plan of homelessness. Just
They're like
billions
shipping
of
them
dollars.
in from nowhere. They're shipping them in. They're like popping up out of the ground, and they're like, "Get on this bus. Let's go over to Wilshire."
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird. It's so weird.
It's as if
The fell bullet train. The fell
the
bullet
train.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That wilderness crossing that's over budget now, and because they
In
want
Agora.
right.
And it looks like crap.
It's
It
like
looks
all this wasted
why is
money.
it taking this long? It's
But
like
this
them
is
fixing
everything.
potholes. What is going
This is
on? What is
everything
going on with the
in
bottlenecks
California.
in the 101 over in Carpinteria? They have been working on that stuff
Years.
years,
yeah.
decades, over a decade,
Yeah.
over a decade. It's
2
insane.
decades. You're right. Over a decade. Over 10 years, for sure. I used to do KCSB radio.
Uh-huh.
And when I was doing that 10 years ago, 11 years ago, they were still doing it.
They're like working at night, and it's like, and you're getting prevailing wage. The hell? Like,
Yeah.
prevailing wage is so expensive. It is so expensive. It's like you could pick your nose for free, like, you know, at a mom and pop. Like, to be a nose picker for prevailing wage, you make a good $20 an hour at least.
Or if
Like,
you're,
it's just like,
if
it's
you're the
ridiculous.
governor, I'm a normal dude.
Mhm.
I'm a family guy.
Mhm.
Here's the things I need answered.
Okay,
I can't be paying $2 more than everybody in the nation for gas.
I
I
agree.
can't do that no more. I cannot buy a $500,000 house for $1.3 million. I
Right.
can't do that no more. Like this, because the
The
moment I
property
pull the
taxes
trigger,
too. On top of that,
I'm a veteran that's 100% disabled. I don't know about that life. You know what I mean?
Blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag, yeah.
These are my. And the other thing is, I want somebody to give a fuck about the homeless.
Yeah.
I want somebody, and not. I don't want them, like, to be given clean needles. I don't want them to be
right.
giving clean paraphernalia. I want them
Not to be
get-
given meth.
The problem in our country is we have shitty parents. Because I witnessed it myself. My shitty parents went to have shitty kids, and my shitty siblings went on to have kids that are shitty kids. Like, we got cursed. Our generation was cursed because my mom and her drugs.
Mm-hmm.
That was, not all of us are fucked,
Mm-hmm.
but we were all touched by that. That
Yeah.
were scarred. And guess what? If I didn't recognize it, I could have easily hit my wife or hit my kids or been a shitty person. I could have turned that around. I could have grabbed onto a vice and fucking did drugs, and not that I didn't, or just really being into alcohol. We need these people to have help. They need to touch what's wrong with them. We can't just here.
We
I
need
know
to get
you're
to the root
sad.
of the problem.
Yeah, you can't just mask everything all the time.
Right.
These are human beings. We have to give a fuck about them. What are you gonna do for those? What can you do?
Same
What
thing
is
I
your
wanna-
plan?
Same thing I want to do in medicine, and the same thing I want to do in everything else. I want to get to the root of the problem. I want to treat society as a whole. I want to treat it for where our issues are. So it doesn't make sense to sit here and go, oh, okay, well, here's homelessness, and here's this, and here's that. These are all the branches of the tree.
Sure.
The root of the problem, you could throw 10% of the money at the root of the problem, and 10% of the money that you would put on any one of those branches actually, and fix 5 branches. So you would actually be like putting like, I don't know, I'm not going to do math here. I'm not going to do math. It's going to be embarrassing. But it's going to be a lot, significantly less. And so if we deal with like one main big situation, it could handle all of these issues. And it always comes back to the condition of, so if society is like your body, like what's the gut and what's the mind and what's the condition of stuff, like the condition of our soil, the condition of our education, the condition. I think part of the reason too we have shitty parents is because
They had shitty parents.
yes, but there's also the laws haven't got better. They keep removing the ability for us to actually rear our children the best way that we see fit. So you're raising kids that are far
You're
removed
talking about ass
from,
whooping?
well, not just an ass whooping, just period. So you're far removed. It's like you've got school raising your kids, you've got society raising your kids, not the parents. And then
what are they
told what
teaching?
can
And then
can't
what are
do.
they teaching? What are they teaching them in the schools? What are they? What is it? What is it that they're learning? And are they supposed to be learning that, or do we need to revamp the
No,
education?
we need a whole education reform. Whole education
Right.
reform. Let's stop talking about who you screw on your after hours. Stop talking about, I'm not saying it happens in every school. I'm not saying this is like a huge thing, but it shouldn't happen at all. Like we shouldn't be talking about how to give blowjobs anywhere. We shouldn't be keeping anything from children's parents. In fact, the Constitution of California says that the school system is set up to help the parents raise their kids. And I understand that there are shitty parents out there, and there are exceptions where there is neglect, and there should be the right things in place for that. But the way society is, it is so inflamed and it is so offended all the time, and everything is wrong, and everybody is just assuming the worst all the time, that we're overcorrecting on things that aren't even happening.
That's
And then
exactly what's
you're training children and bringing them up to have anxiety. You're training them and bringing them up. You're training them for situations that happen like never. And then you turn around and you don't teach them music. You don't put their hands on anything. They don't get dirty. They're not
train
putting their
them
hands
for the
on anything.
1%, not the 99%.
Yeah.
they're not active. They're not.
They're
fit,
not active.
They're getting the
not
wrong
active.
food.
They're getting shit.
They're
food.
getting sexualized early.
Yes, they're not getting anything, and they're just sitting in front of screens more and more and more, and there's no interaction. And it's like, and the fact that they like have people like, it's crazy. Like, sorry, semi tangent here. My daughter, because she's, and she goes to special needs classes. I noticed there is one woman, and she's like the speech therapist, or she's like one of the therapists that helps, and she will always be wearing still in 2026 wearing a motherfucking mask.
I bet you she's still wears
and
it
she
driving.
holds the kid by the nape of his neck to help guide him.
Oh my god!
If it's my kid, I can do that,
Right.
first of all. But she guides him that way, and every time I've seen him with her, he's flipping the fuck out. Bitch, he can't see your face. He doesn't know
Is this
what
Ventura?
It's Ojai.
Oh, hi. Yeah,
Well, that makes sense.
But
Yeah.
it's like kind of crazy. Like, it's like our kids were underdeveloped because they can't even see our emotions. Therefore, they can't even have their own frontal lobe grow. So they can't see the way your face moves. Like, our kids are like stunted. They did like studies on it from wearing masks because kids
Emotionally.
can't see. Yeah, they're totally stunted, and they can't. Like, you think, like, there's always this joke, like, even when I was in high school, like, people would be like, what's wrong with that kid? And they'd, like, be, like, kind of socially awkward. We'd be like, oh, he's homeschooled. You know what I mean? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And so it's kind of like that. Like, they're just they're stunted big time, and they can't even learn correctly now
Mhm.
because they've been sat in front of screens. They've not had actual one-on-one training, and then they don't even know what your face looks like.
I wonder what
So they
that
have
period
no
of art's gonna
social
look like.
cues.
Like
What?
when they come up, what that period of art will look like for those people who went through that.
I don't know, it just makes me wonder, like, I
don't
mean,
know.
and then babies and like kids were saying less words, and they were seeing like more, and people were thinking like their kids were like more autistic and all of this other stuff, but it's not. They're just not seeing your faces and your emotions. Why the hell are you wearing a mask in your house with your freaking baby? Like, it's just stuff like that. And people are still doing that sort of stuff now. And so we're kind of in this hypersensitive, weird, I don't know, what if limbo, and no one's actually living. And we're taking away everything that makes life life. We're taking away all the feelings. We're taking away like real feelings, like actual tangible feelings. Because honestly, right now, all it is feelings.
Yeah.
There's no reality. Oh, I feel like this. Go fuck yourself. Like all the way off. Go fuck all the way off.
That's
Is like my
line.
thing.
Good
Like I
job.
cannot.
That's a clip.
Like I can't stand it. And it's just like our kids are stunted and our adults are stunted, and there's just no education, and we have no jobs, and no one's getting jobs because they don't even know, like, all of this stuff has like this huge. I'm going to be interested to see what the workforce looks like. Let's just say, like, I mean, obviously there's a possibility that I might not get in there, but let's just say if this continues, what are things going to look like in 10 years? Because all of these kids have to go into the workforce that they're barely there workforce. And it's like, I mean, I think it's Dirty Jobs guy talks about how every single person that's in the trades, every five going out, only one is coming in. Like, kids don't know how to use their hands anymore.
Right.
People
It's
don't know
very
how to do
difficult
anything for themselves.
to be on the management side of that,
Mhm.
because you have to be so careful with everybody's feelings.
Yes.
And so you cannot. This didn't happen to me. This is not a true story. So
So one time at band camp,
It's fake
I
news.
have-
It's fake.
at this guy's work,
Mhm.
he had over 10 months and over 1,400 pages of mistakes that one employee did. They couldn't do anything about it.
See, that's my thing though. That's how all of society is.
Yes.
Even parents, like, you can't parent your kid right, because if a kid goes to school and they act like my kid, he's a teenager. He borders the spectrum. He's my kid. So it's that he's like kind of shy, and we go and we're sitting in front of, we're doing, his final IEP, which he doesn't get IEPs anymore. But they're like, Ezra, like, how often do you sleep? And he's like, a lot. And they're like, are you depressed? And I'm like, no, he's a fucking kid. He's a fucking teenager. Do you see how tall his dad is? His dad is sitting over here. He's 6'7". Do you see how tall I am? And do you see that Ezra is just now starting to get taller than me? He's 14 years old. This kid needs like at least a 2,000 calorie diet and to sleep.
Yeah.
He needs to sleep. And they're just like, Mom, no answering for him. And it's just like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Like, it's my kid. And I mean, there's one thing. I mean, I get it. There's helicopter parents out there because honestly, like, you've got schizophrenia and all these like mental health stuff, and it's the parents. The mother is almost always to blame for a lot of mental health stuff. Don't get me started into that whole weird epigenetic weird stuff. We could talk all week, but it's just.
But these are the issues that are happening
They
to
are the
families,
issues.
and especially in California, because California is very lackadaisical when it comes to certain stuff,
Well, and
or
everything's
talking about
connected.
mental. It's not mental health. This is who I am, or this is, and trying to make it into something that it's not. And like all these people, especially parents, are pushing against what science is telling what's going on with your kids.
Right, and then you go into the doctor, and you even have like the counties. It's funny because I could sit in and I could overhear some of the conversations that are happening, inside Santa Barbara County, and it's almost like in some situations they just take the whole DSM-5 and they're like, yeah, we don't need this.
Fuck it. Yes.
Throw that in the garbage and set it on fire, and let's not call it fire. Let's call it something else. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, let's not say what is what. Like, at one point, this woman that works with my husband, and this is something that's somewhat the same but totally different, just being hypersensitive about everything, and about race, and about women, and boobies, and whose is blue and whose is pink and whose is whatever, and it's just so annoying. And my husband someone was asking him in like this meeting, Dr. Oli, what do you think that I should do to be a better employee? And he was giving him, some advice, like basically like just go out and do it and just be. And he's literally like quoting like Krishnamurti and like, all of these, like the Dalai Lama, like the same shit that is put out there, and to be like a whole mindful self-aware person. And this woman got mad at him and said, I don't like that an old white man told a brown man what he needed to do to be better for the, and she's going down this whole thing. She was born here. This brown man was born here, and my husband was not. Shut the fuck up. He came here, he had to do what he had to do, and you're sitting here and all you're looking at is the lack of melanin in his skin. And I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like any of that. It's like, stop. It's like we are being rewarded in society by judging people instead of just like minding our own damn business and worrying about what's going on here. Worry about here. And so how do we, I kind of want to, the way I look at California, how do I make it so that we could worry about, everyone could just mind their own fucking business? I mean, maybe if we were focused on all of this stuff individually and, you know, also treating the root of stuff, people would be able to feel a little bit more seen and heard and not so stressed out and more willing to point out all of the BS or lack thereof or try to come up with more BS. It's like, we've got enough drama. We don't need to point out any extra shit. I just lost my thought. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. So I want to get back to what you're going to, like, what ideas do you have for the gas prices and how do you supplement that income for the budget? So we're not, because the reason why they're putting the taxes on them is because
if you're not lining your pockets, then you have more money.
Are you going to be able to find that and hunt that shit down?
Well, I mean, the taxes are still the taxes, right? So, I mean, come next year, there's going to be money that's in there from taxes that just came in, right? So, if you take out every single bit of fraud, you could actually lower the cost of taxes and lower the cost of everything.
This is what, so you said that
billions of
this
dollars
is what drives me
billions
fucking ape shit. With all transparency, I was a Bernie bro. I got more into things, and then I saw 2012 happen, 2016 happen, 2020 happen to Bernie, or 16 and 20, right? And we all agree on what happened, right? They were like, "You're not gonna."
He got fucked over.
Yeah.
But he made a lot of money to be fucked over too, as well.
He was okay with it, as long because he was able to cash some checks.
He's riding first class right now. On
You saw that picture?
Yes, yes, I did.
So, it made sense to me at that time, but then seeing more, diving more into politics and understanding what's happening and understanding certain situations and circumstances, let's not tax the millionaires and billionaires. How about this? Better idea. How about we stop stealing taxes? That's it. Stop the fraud. Then we don't have to tax millionaires and billionaires. It's not a money problem. It's a fucking greed problem.
Right.
If we had tax be 10% for everybody, no matter what, just 10%, no matter what. If you have $1 billion, 10% of $1 billion, I mean, obviously there's some stuff where it's like you could write stuff off, but I mean, for the better part of it, like you can't go below a certain percentage. And if everybody did their share and they just gave 10%, everybody, of what they made, we would have a shit ton of money. And if we weren't selling it up the river, then we would still have a ton of money. And if we weren't making up programs that aren't really a program, and if we actually took care of what we need to take care of.
So you'd go after fraud?
Oh yeah.
I would hope
Let's
so.
fucking go.
Yeah. I think there needs to be full
Nick Shirley or
transparency. What?
You're gonna hire Nick Shirley?
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
The fact
fucking
that she
love
knows who that is, you got my vote again. Like, that's awesome. Like, what happened in Minnesota and then what it brought over to California, it
to. He's
boggles.
in LA right now.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind how much billions of dollars are happening and being wasted.
And the boldness, they're standing there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm talking to him on the phone." Right there in their face, and they're just like, "Oh, like yeah,
Yeah, let me just get in my Benz."
It's so easy, and the politicians do it too. It's like they're doing it in front of you, and then they gaslight you. It's like someone. It's like they take your money and then they just set it on fire, and then you're like, "Why'd you just set my money on fire?" And they're like, "I didn't set your money on fire. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Like it's like gaslighting a whole bunch of people, and then you have people go, oh, "Okay, you want me to vote for you again next year?" It's like, what the hell is wrong with us?
And I think
also,
it boggles my mind too that I think they're protesting. I love protests, but I think we're protesting the wrong thing. We need to start protesting
Bro,
like
dog.
things that like.
I was supposed to go to LA tomorrow, right?
Oh,
They have this.
no kings.
I respect everyone's right to vote. You guys want to talk about no kings? While you're totally.
Now, Gavin Newsom is the king of California.
I'm not going to speak for you. There's babies being fucking eaten and fucked. And we're going to talk about no kings. Go get your priorities straight. Go fuck off with your no kings, dude.
Well, I mean, they protest, and that's fine. But I think they need to shift the. Let's start
So
here.
that's what's more important, bro. What do you really think? This king that they're talking about?
You know how I
It's
feel.
not about kings at all. It's just about them not liking the perspective that they have of somebody. It's again,
Sure.
it's a judgment call. They're taking a judgment and they're just sticking to that judgment, and there's no openness or anything because it's identity politics.
Right.
It's like, I've chosen that I hate you, and it doesn't matter. You could save my mother from a burning building, but because it's you that saved her,
Fuck you.
you're a piece of shit.
And fuck anybody
It's
that likes
so
you.
weird. It is the weirdest thing. It's like a cult. I don't understand it, and it's that way on both sides, but it's definitely really that way on the left, like big time. I don't get it.
Oh, and I don't know because I don't know, and I'm just curious because maybe what are you? How are you running?
I'm no party person.
No party. Okay. And just because the way you're talking, I have no idea how you're running, but the way you talk and the way I'm like, I don't even care if it was Democrat or whatever. I like that. I like what you're saying because it shouldn't matter what side.
Right.
It matters about how you're going to
The
make the change.
ideas.
The ideas and how it's going to help. Like it's refreshing to see that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I was saying to my husband, because he sent me that thing like, oh, they canceled the whole governor. I know we were talking about that earlier, but because it wasn't
Tell the people at home
what
happened. Tell the people at home what happened.
Oh, so they canceled the governor debate because they were pointing out that there wasn't enough diversity with the candidates.
Because it's the top 6, correct?
Yeah, it's like the top
And
6 right now.
the top 6 were all white. And that's what the problem was. And so they had to cancel it.
I think there's like one or two. There's like a handful. I mean, there's people
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't even know, but there's like
there's-
a handful of people that aren't white. But it's like, but they're like, you know, kind of at the bottom. But
At the
there's people that
bottom.
are more at the top. Like, there's a.
The sheriff, dude.
You know who annoys me is that girl with that lady. She has like 10%.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Democratic
I
one.
don't like her.
Katie Porter.
Oh my God!
That's the one that
I
that
almost
can't
said-
happen.
Can you debate her just because?
That's the one that can't
I
happen
think
out of
she's
everyone.
a smart woman, but it's like you are like
Dude, are you serious?
she. Well,
She says some stupid shit in
she
media.
is. Okay, I don't think that she's stupid. I think that she's smart enough. She's book smart.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
she's definitely the way she treats people, though.
That's what
That's
pisses
what
me
it
off.
is.
The
too.
way she treats people, I'm just like,
She's smarter than you,
whoa.
shut the
I mean,
fuck
I'm
up.
a bitch. I get it, but I mean, like, she's just like.
You're not really condescending though. She's sort of. I get the condescending vibe.
She
from
thinks
her.
she's better. I don't want to say how somebody thinks, but and I don't really want to get into totally smearing people, but I do have.
I'm
my
over here like
opinions.
stirring up. Like get her.
Yeah, yeah. We're not putting this out there right
Yeah.
now, but I'm going to say clap clap. I call her Katie Porker.
You know another reason why I'm gonna vote for her? That.
So I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And when I read that, when I read the headline, I thought they were saying there wasn't enough diversity in. I didn't even read it like everyone was white. I thought they were saying there wasn't enough diversity in the campaigns. Like that these people, what they were running
they're
on,
all the
like
same thing?
yeah, like they're all
Oh,
the
yeah,
same,
yeah.
and that's what it was. And they are like
It-
Steve Hilton is like I heard.
That's the
I
sheriff.
would love
guy,
to
right?
talk to him. I would love to talk. I would love to get down to the bottom of that. Let's get Nick Shirley on that shit. I want to know if he truly does live here 100% of the time because I don't think he does.
Oh, is that the British guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I don't
spent
trust
how
that guy.
long getting away from the British? We poured tea into the freaking shit to get away from the. Come on, stop it. You know what I mean? Like, what was, Paul Revere was for nothing. Like, and now we've got like this whole thing. Like, it's just like okay. And I mean, I don't want to be like
I mean, I guess
I don't
you
wanna be,
had an
like,
Austrian
racist.
governor.
that's different.
So, yeah.
So everyone talks about him, and he did a pretty okay job. And he's a centrist. He wasn't-
think that I do.
yeah,
Yeah.
schnitzel. Like yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, he lived here for a long time, paid a shit ton of taxes. He put into his communities.
Sure.
He still
Yeah,
lives
even
here.
before he was famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is like still like
Part-time.
part timing in
Roman
Britain,
Reigns.
and I think he's a Trojan horse.
Oh,
So there's
yeah.
that because a lot of his I don't even know if they're policies, but a lot of his opinions feel very super far left.
Is
to
there
me.
also a gentleman who's running who's just got caught with meeting up with a boy?
I don't know. Who?
Allegedly.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a
Let's
guy, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I learned from my mistakes. Can you vote for me?"
No, thank you.
No, I was just doing research. And
So
that's one of
someone's
the
trying to
guys.
run for mayor or whatever of Fresno, and he's a sex offender, and he was in jail, and he can't even vote, but he's like running, and he's like, yeah, I like little boys, but yeah, like
Oh,
it's
that might be it. Maybe it's that one.
and everyone.
Maybe a guy.
That guy.
Maybe
That sounds like Fresno.
sometimes I'm high on Reddit and I'm just at night. Maybe I took a wrong note.
Yeah.
Is
No,
it, you sure it's not Merced or
no,
anything?
yeah, it's yeah.
This sounds like a Merced thing.
Yeah.
The guy's from Merced, but he was just running
Yeah.
for Fresno.
I don't know, but yeah. And then there's Swalwell. He has wife and kids on the East Coast. He has like a $2 million something mansion, and he decided to come out here to run to be governor of California. And
He
was-
smelled blood and he said, "I could take this."
and he's like, people are like eating it up because he's like, these renting costs, the cost of rent out here is ridiculous. I'm renting a room, and everyone's like, oh, you're just so, whatever, you're so humble. Where the fuck are your wife and kids?
Right.
You're paying a mortgage in over here, and his wife and kids who forgave him for like sleeping with a spy, like a Chinese spy or whatever.
That's the
dude.
guy!
That's the dude.
You're right. And
Mimi.
He's
What? That's her name.
She sucky a long time or what?
I'm not sure if it was a long time because they're already broken up.
Oh,
but
well,
she
maybe
got
she-
the
maybe
secrets.
little time.
Short time.
she got the
60
secrets.
minutes.
Oh my God, her and Monica Lewinsky, they're tight. But no, she's I don't
Ling
know.
Ling is her name.
Oh, Ling Ling, that's what it
Ling Ling.
was.
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
her. Well, it's okay. You're somewhat Asian, so you get a pass.
Yeah, I can do that.
Duh, fool.
Da, fool.
Yeah.
My sister Ling Ling.
Yeah,
da.
so I don't understand, why aren't we weeding that out just because they paid the $5,000 to run, like the fees and stuff? I don't know, but everybody's stuff does sound the same.
No.
It does. So I guess I'll bring it back around town. So what am I gonna do for the average Californian? So like the first 100 days, like seriously, by like day 2, I don't want to see anything spraying shit in our skies. I know that
Chemtrails?
yes, no more. The end, done. And I think like we should fine them. I will fine you
But that's
like
the-
$100,000 a
That's the
square.
federal government doing it.
There are states that have actually shut it down. There's several states that are already shutting it down. I think there's 3.
Do you know what they or this is just you ready to get weird?
Are we getting weird now?
We're 2 hours in. It's time
2
for
hours
weird.
in.
It's
Yeah,
a weird
I
hour.
think we
All right.
established this.
So here we go. Do you know what they put in the sky?
It's methyl something.
Beryllium.
Oh, that's what it is. And
and
yes,
aluminum.
yes, aluminum. Yep.
Okay, now periodic table. Let's do it. What's
Uh,
beryllium?
Is it a poison?
Oh, it's
No.
been a minute.
What's
oh,
the
shit.
initial?
Oh, well, for what?
Beryllium.
BR.
BR?
BA.
Oh, BA.
And then aluminum's what?
AI?
No,
AL.
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 What's that spell?
B.
Blur.
Blur?
No, BAAL is
Ball.
ball.
A cabal.
What is Jeffrey Epstein's bank account name?
Oh.
Ball. What is the demon that these guys
Ball.
Ball.
sacrifice to?
Yeah.
Ball. Dude. I know it is BAAL because of the soil samples that they take.
Mhm.
Beryllium, and it could be other
And
things
aluminum.
too.
There's some other stuff. It's like I should know this, but I don't even fucking care, honestly. Just stop doing it.
Yeah.
Like our kids are sick.
It's got to
we're
be some
sick.
sort of ritual.
I
I think. I'm weird, okay?
Yeah.
Like we said,
Maybe
two,
it is.
2 hours in, it's weird time,
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
And maybe it is, but I don't even care. Just stop doing it. Like I will find the actual pants off of you for doing that. And I don't know. So that's like the one thing. Gas prices have got to come down. Why are we getting gas from other countries when we've got nothing, or oil, excuse me. Why are we getting oil from other countries when we've got nothing but oil here? It doesn't make sense when you have environmentalists go, oil, okay, but you're totally cool with spending all this money to do the same thing that you say that we shouldn't be doing. So why not just use the resources that we have here and try and also figure out the long-term decision? Because it's not going to be here forever. The oil's not going to stay here forever. So we could come up with more long-term fixes. I mean, wind power is not going to be it, but there are other things that we could be doing. But till then, why are we being somebody else's? Again, not your bitch. Why are we going to be the bitch of Saudi Arabia or whatever? Why is California bowing down to that? And why is California making it so hardcore that all of these petrol companies have to leave? So that's making it cost more money.
So
And
many
then we're
different-
also bringing barrels in from other countries when we have rigs sitting just taking up space out here off the. It's funny. I had a friend that was out once. Sorry, non sequitur, and she was like, we were getting ready to party, and she's like, she yeah, and she's, what are those, party ships? And I was like, no, psycho, like
Definitely give me her number.
Yeah,
oil
wave her
rigs.
down.
What are those, party boats? She's from
Party boats.
Detroit.
Mama, come here.
She's from Detroit. I'm like,
Does she have curly hair?
yes,
She a Latina?
no.
She have big booty?
Well, yes, she's
All right,
half
let's
black.
go.
2 out of 3 is not bad.
2 out of 3 is not bad.
She's definitely psychotic.
Perfect.
But
Dead
Done.
on.
dead on. The crazier the better. So yeah, so gas prices need to come down, the cost of food needs to come down, but I also think that I'm right there with RFK and the dyes and the preservatives, like right there.
It's insane. If you go down to, my parents retired and they moved down to Mexico, and when I go visit them, how just about 400 miles south, how the food there is so much different, better, richer, healthier than in America and what's in California and what's permitted in California.
Right.
Like the dye, the preservatives, all these
Even
other
the
things.
vegetables, bro. Okay, so I
Yeah.
went to
Yeah.
New York, Western New York, and they're all cowboys or they're all hillbillies out there, right? And they grow their own shit. The potatoes taste so different. The corn tastes so different. Just tasting different.
Right.
Like sort of potatoes out here just taste like nothing, right? Like you have to put salt, pepper, and sour cream and cheese.
Yes.
Not that I don't
I
like
would do
that
that
stuff.
anyway.
I love that.
Right.
I mean-
Yeah.
But
That's
you
because
can't
of
taste a
I could-
potato.
I could get down with
Or
that.
the corn can be so sweet. They're putting too much. They're trying to grow it so fast that we're leaving the
They're
the
genetically
taste.
modifying it so
Mhm.
that it can grow, and they're trying to say it's to keep up with the demand, but what it actually is America has screwed their farmers over so hardcore. They need to try and keep up with all these demands to make everything make sense for what. It's not even so much for consumers. You've got the consumers giving all this feedback, but the farmer is just like, if I could just break even this year, that'd be freaking super. So it's just, we need to just fix it. But yeah, no more.
'cause
No
that's
more
a better
pesticides.
resource for us to invest in as a nation than
Regenerative farming.
yes.
So regenerative farming is really good because it creates jobs. It you have healthier soil, which means that you retain water, which creates microclimates, and you then don't need to spray shit in the air and have another conspiracy theory, but we all know it's true. The HARP. You don't have to have weather modification or anything like that because the weather just does what it needs to do when you have soil that can retain water, and it has you grow better food, you have higher yields, the food is better for you, and
That's what they did this past year, right?
Mm.
They seeded the clouds.
Yeah.
So that
they've been
there's
seeding for a while.
so that it rained during the fire season and nothing got. Did
That
you notice?
blue rain,
That
blue
was-
rain.
We had more rain in like 1 week
Yeah.
than the whole year or
Yeah.
something like that. It's crazy.
Well, what it ended up doing is it ended up taking all of that trash that was on the top of the soil from burning all of those toxic
Brushes,
materials that are in these homes. It burnt, so those toxic
ocean.
materials actually made the fire burn harder and made it a lot hotter. So then it's like melting metal. Like I literally saw melted metal. I saw a truck that was partially melted into the ground, an old truck. It was like a 1956 Chevy. It was melted halfway into the ground. I was just like, holy cow. And so then they made it rain, and all of that crap that was just burned into the soil that came from all these homes then got
Washed away.
flushed out, because then you also don't have soil, like again, you don't have water retention. So it flushes
Which is
all
all
of
on
that
top.
it flushed it all into the ocean, and like a week later you had all of these like
Oh, yeah,
all
marine
those
life
marine that's
were
flowing up.
washing up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you were just
whales
completely
and walruses
Yes.
or
Yeah.
seals.
Seals.
seals, yeah.
That's
Dolphins.
true.
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah.
And it's just like, and like people can't go in there, and like your drinking water's jacked, and it's like, so we need to. This is the other thing, and I mean, I know we're talking about like, let's try and talk about like what I'm going to do for the people, but we definitely need to figure out prevention. Like, so Chad Bianco talks all the time about, oh, we need to get emergency services and all this other stuff. If we had the right prevention, we don't need to hire all these other people. We don't need to have more cops and more. If they just did their damn job when their job was needed, which would be barely ever because we took preventative measures because the laws created that, then we wouldn't be throwing money, all this other shit down the line.
The only reason they're not doing that is because Trump said something. Trump said something. And
Trump said what?
About for instance, the Palisade fires. You have a lot of investigation that was done by Spencer Pratt. He came to a conclusion that a lot of the brushes in the forest weren't kept up.
Right.
And Trump was saying that 5, 6, 7 years ago.
The upkeep of it.
The upkeep of it, yeah. And just because he said something, like they want to they would dig their heels into the sand and say, nope.
Yeah.
He said it. Like, we don't. Do you remember in the Bible? I'm not sure if it's in the Bible, to be honest with you. It's just a story I remember from church. There's a lady. She comes in. She's hanging up her laundry outside. And she turns around and a lady takes her baby. She goes, that's my baby.
Yeah.
You're taking my baby.
Oh, that's King Solomon.
Yeah, okay, King Solomon. And then she was like, no, this is my baby. And the guy comes.
Was it Solomon or Herod?
Well,
Maybe it was Solomon. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he goes,
Keep me on check. Yes.
so the guard comes and he goes, come on, we're going to go talk to the king. And the king goes, so they're in front of the king. He goes, what's the problem? She goes, that's my baby. She was like, no. The other lady was like, no, that's my baby. He goes, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to cut the baby in half. You get the legs, you get the head. And then the real mom goes, no, just take her. He goes, that's the real mom. He gives her. We're not, dude, in America, Republicans, Democrats, they're willing to take the feet or the head.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
They're not willing to love America.
No.
If you're MAGA, if you think you are or you think you love, you really don't, because of, you can't just consistently for years just say, oh, it's the other people, it's the other people, it's the other people.
Sure.
At one point, it has to be me. At one point, you have to look in the mirror and say, it's me. Either side needs to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
For
I'm
the
sure,
good for the baby.
and I'm sure for you, I think you would reach both sides and work with people, not isolate people.
I would really like to bring people across the aisle and have them work together. It's interesting, like, you know, the Katie Porter lady, she's like, I'm already purple, and it's like, okay.
But what can you even how can you trust any of these guys? Because in my head, everybody but Thomas Massey is an asshole.
What do you mean, like, trust who?
Anybody in government.
Oh, you can't.
So like you're going in there and like he's talking about working with people. Like, how can you work with people that you don't trust?
Well, my big thing when we had Linda come on, because we had this lady come on, she was bipartisan, and there's
O'Keefe Media, that too, that happened this week. Good.
That there's huge voter fraud in California.
Yes,
that has been pushed. There's this lady that we brought on the show, Linda, I forget her last name. She's working for this organization. They pushed all this stuff to Congress and been showing them like there's a lot of voter fraud in California, specifically also. And I voted for the last election, and I came up ready with my license, and I go, I'm ready to vote. And like, oh, we don't need your license. I was like, oh, wait, what do you mean you don't need my license?
Oh, I got a story after this.
I go, what do you mean? Like, I have to show if I'm gonna buy porn or if I'm gonna buy soda or Four Loko or something, I need to show an ID, or at least like, I'm gonna get carded. They're like, no, we don't. Just over here. And they're like, oh, and they were trying to get me to do the machine, and I go, I don't trust the machines. And then I hear that it's like controlled by, I don't know, but I'm traditional. I want to put my thing and do it. And the lady came in, she goes, there's a lot of voter fraud, and especially with the thing. So like, you're already behind the eight ball, because it's not even, you can't trust your politicians. There is a system where like, how do we know who is exactly voting for who?
Right.
So I mean,
it's like gerrymandering, and then they change the freaking maps on you, and then they make it so that it's not fair. And it's like, if we just did ideas and people that had good ideas instead of who's whatever, then.
But the other thing that we have going on is we have AIPAC heavily involved in all of our politicians.
I will not be.
Hold on, let me get that one.
I will not be taking any money from APAC.
I appreciate that. And I'm not. I want to preface this by saying my heritage is of Jewish heritage.
Mine too.
But with that being said,
2/3 Jew by name. Isaac
we
Rick.
we are what we're witnessing is a takeover of a foreign country of our. Not a takeover. It being very influenced by money and our politicians. Is it a takeover? I don't know. And even this war with Iran, it's very hard for me. And they're like, it's hard for me to swallow as a service member, a former service member. I support the boys no matter what. It's hard for me to swallow because Mossad gave us information saying that they're making a bomb. Well, the last time Mossad gave us information, we attacked Iraq with weapons of mass destruction. And guess what? That was for the benefit of the state of Israel as well. So now we're conjuncted in 3 different wars that benefited solely, and not even talking about these little battles, only for a control of that area for our ally. At what point do we say goodbye to the ally?
Do you not want to? So you want to disband your allegiance to?
We just need things better here. I'm not saying anything else. What happens when they say, when the airplane's going down, you put your mask on and then you help another motherfucker.
Well, that's why we need to start in California.
We're not even putting our mask on. We're just looking at each other.
Yeah.
And Gavin Newsom's crying in the corner. Look, I don't know
doing
what's happening.
doing his hand motions and picking fights with presidents.
Using his tears as lube.
And then the other thing is, he's posting things about Nick Shirley. Motherfucker's doing your job, dude, and you're making fun of him.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Are we in Bizarro land?
I think so. We're in an alternate timeline. That's why this.
Am I wrong? Am I fucked up? Am I an idiot?
No, but that's why I love that Amanda's here, and it's a refreshing outlook on like the political landscape, and also a breath of fresh air. And I think you're in the position now, especially there's a lot of chaos and a lot of uncertainty of who's running and doing what, and with the one guy going out, I think this is prime time, to do like a grassroots movement, like what kind of Bernie would have or should have done, and get to a position where like, hey, you're coming from this angle, and kind of take a play from Trump's playbook where he wasn't a political guy. You know what I mean?
I'm not political at all.
And so you coming from actual like, hey, I'm not a
rich person though either. I'm the poor version of.
Right. So I'm not saying like all him.
Yeah.
I'm saying from the non-political aspect, right?
Right.
You're coming as a mom with kids who has struggled and persevered and reached to a certain top of whatever your profession was and is, and continue to get there.
Or dropped out when I'm like, this isn't going to serve anybody. How am I going to actually bring this? I have to understand
how to
before
pivot.
I can actually help this.
You learn, you're educated enough, and you see. You can pivot, you can move, you're adaptable, and from the short interaction in your stories that I'm getting, a lot of people are gonna resonate with your story, with your message, with your life, and be like, maybe we could get behind this kind of a person where it's not the same cookie cutter politician, the same cookie cutter white man.
We got as a country, we got to recognize this right now. We have to understand that we are being manipulated by both sides.
Absolutely. Yes, we are.
We are being coerced and taken advantage of and gaslit.
Yep.
And when we think that we are, this is the best of 2 evils. No, we're not. We don't do that no more. We need to pull in one direction. Remember, like,
I love that what you said. We have to pick the best of 2 evils. Why do we have to pick any evil? Why can't we just look outside of what that is? We're
connected now by internet.
Right.
We can do it.
We are programmed that we have to make a decision of these 2. We really don't.
We don't.
We really don't have to.
And they reinforce it during the whole election season.
Right, because it's only a 2-party system.
If there was you remember Nemo, the movie Finding Nemo?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. What happens at the end? They're stuck in that
aquatic world?
No, bro.
The fishbowl. Oh, the fish tank.
All right. Me and you. I tell stories, you listen, you go, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's what happens. They're in all the macro.
Pretend like I never watched the movie. Okay. Tell me.
So there's Nemo, and he gets stuck. And Marlin, his dad, gets stuck inside of a net.
Yes.
They're catching sardines.
Yes.
Nemo gets caught in the net.
No.
Yeah, Nemo gets sucked.
Oh,
It's
he
Nemo
does?
and Dory.
Yeah.
And Marlin's on the outside.
Okay. So they were trying. Anyways.
Can you
You
tell me
wanna
the
tell
story?
the story?
You tell me. Tell me. You tell me,
You tell
Nemo.
the story.
Yeah, you tell me.
Okay, so
Sorry. Let the future governor tell us.
well, he learned, let's go back a little bit. Nemo learned to do this because he was in the fish tank trying to get out of the fish tank so he could get back into the real world. So he had to swim down and he had to just keep swimming, and he had to learn to do that in spite of his limpy fin. Anyway, so he finally catches up with his dad and Dory, and they get caught up in a fish net with a bunch of whatever they are.
Sardines.
I don't know if their
A
sardines
tuna?
are big. They were bigger.
Albacore.
I don't know, but they were like
albacore, maybe.
I don't know. It was bigger fish,
It
but
was a fishing fish.
a ton of fish, yeah. And Marlin was kind of like, first Dory got stuck, and he was like, "No, Nemo, we'll just like leave her, just fuck her. I know she helped me get here.
That's my dude.
She learned how to read so that you could get here." But
Wallaby Avenue.
yeah, Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Wallaby Way.
Yeah, so he's like, "No, Dad, I know how to save her. I know how to save her." And he went in and he told them, "No, they'll catch you because you're going in 20 different directions and you're just flailing about. But if you all pick one direction and just start swimming down, you'll be going against the current of everything." And so they just kept telling him, "Just keep swimming, swim down," until they let the net.
It's a beautiful story about
It is.
unification and going against what you're programmed for. So if we all can go one direction with everyone's telling us to go this way, you can achieve it. It's what that story is, what you're trying to say. And that's what I loved what you said is that, we're trying to pick the best of two evils. It's like, no, we don't have to do that anymore. We don't with media, with the internet, with how social media is. Someone like Amanda can go and run and not need to be like, oh, well, like you can go viral. You could do some stuff. You could do podcasts, and we can do a unification of like maybe one of these things don't agree, but we love the state. We love our community. We want to make it better for everyone. And I think that's what that message would be.
Mm-hmm.
You're the man, dude.
I just
If I was gay, I'd give you fellatio.
perfect.
For sure.
And if I was gay, I would accept it. But I love the fact that, well, I get passionate because when I see people that are like-minded or at least have a message and that it goes against the grain, it gets me going too. It gets me wild up because it's like, oh, there are people that think like me, or there are people that can have a conversation even if we do disagree on one or two items. Because like I have a brother. My brother-in-law is I'm gonna go on a tangent. I'm sorry. My brother-in-law like will hit me up saying, you need to apologize for doing this and supporting this person. And I go, bro, I voted for the way I voted because it was Kamala or it was this, and I voted, and I don't agree with. I voted for Trump. I'll say it out loud, and I don't agree with a lot of stuff, but it was either those or that. And it's like if I had a different option, I would have voted that way. But I'm not gonna apologize because you have an vendetta against this person. I don't agree with a lot of stuff he's doing. Like I don't. And once there's a candidate that is, I'll go and do that. But like we have this whole weird mentalities, like because you voted president, like fuck you, fuck your cow, and fuck your generations. You know what I mean? Like it's not about that. I want the best for everyone. I don't care who you are, if you're gay, lesbian, black, white, Latino, it doesn't matter. We live in California. Let's make it the best state. We should be the best state. We can.
Yeah, we're worried about too much bullshit. Like
Too much
who
shit.
gives a fuck about race, really, guys?
At this
Like, let's
point.
just be great.
No one started looking at race in California until, sorry if this bothers anybody, but until Obama. We didn't start looking at race until then.
That's true.
Like, why are we looking at race? Why do we even give a fuck? Like, when did this happen? Like, I grew up, and I mean, and then now it's like you can't be colorblind because that's like extra racist. Like, you
Right.
can't be. It's like, what are you?
Well, then we overcompensate. That's what happens.
Right.
We go.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Right, and
Yeah.
it goes exactly to what you're saying before is that we overcompensate. We push this way and then we push that way, and then like, oh, well, now we have to overcompensate because we don't want to make people to get offended. People should get offended. People should have a feeling over.
Let's learn with some healthy
emotions, coping skills,
mechanisms.
and people don't have that anymore. They don't
It's
know how
okay
to
to feel bad.
It's
It
okay.
is.
Like, there's
Yes.
nothing wrong with feeling bad, guys. Like, all right, one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced in my last before I got married,
Mhm.
I broke up with a girl, or
Mhm.
me and this girl broke up,
broke her heart.
and she broke mine. I felt every inch of it. I listened to songs to remind me of it, because guess what? That's beautiful. Yeah, how many times am I gonna feel a heartbreak?
You still miss him, huh?
I don't miss her.
Oh, him.
Saw that coming.
Right.
Walked into that one.
I did.
I got him.
But my thing is, it's okay to hurt.
Right. And I want to follow up with that is everybody thinks that, and they think this way about relationships. They think this way about everything. If you don't agree with absolutely everything that happens, then they're a bad person, or
Right.
they're not worth having a relationship. Or there's going to be there are going to be politicians that are totally worth their salt, and they can't please everybody. You cannot please everybody, and people have lost sight of the fact that we are just fucking human, and
We're
we all have different.
selfish.
We all have different things that need to happen, and not all of us can see the entire budget or what's happening or why
Sure.
we, like even I had to grow up and go, you know what, like I have to understand that my parents did what they did with what they had in the moment that they had it and whatever they were equipped with, instead of just constantly blaming them. Because I see it all the time in my own kids. Like when I'm raising my own kids, I go to bed almost every night, and and I've told people this before. Like if you're laying in bed at night, sometimes going over things that you did or said, and you're thinking, I should have done this differently, or am I being a good parent? If you're questioning if you're a good parent or not, then you're a good parent.
Right.
And that's what it needs to be like with all relationships. That's what it should be with, like, I don't even like saying politicians, but whoever is leading, whoever is supposed to be leading. And people seem to think like leading is like this boss that's strong and they do the right thing, that every single right thing that I want them to do, that's what they do. And they don't want to stick by
You're
anybody.
responsible for everyone's feelings.
Right. And you're not.
Guess what?
You have to do the best with what you have
As
in
a
the moment
dad-
that you have it.
As a dad, you have to make strong decisions for your family. Me.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'm not popular.
Right.
And
And
that's just the
sometimes
way
your
it
kid's
is.
going to grow up and
Yeah.
they're going to need therapy. And it's like, you know what? You don't know what even came to that fucking decision. I tell my son, I said, I will pay for college or therapy, not both. That's what it is, because you will grow up and there will be something about me that you hate or you don't like, and I can't be perfect. And this is what I had right now. This is what I had to give you right now. This is the situation we're in. And when you look back on that, in whatever situation you're in, it is not the same situation that we are in now.
Correct.
And you are going to judge me based on the situation that you are in then.
Yes.
And I am sorry. I love you, but this is what, and I explain that to my kids. And I think it's the same thing with all relationships.
In my head, I'm like, my dad was lazy. That's just how I feel, dude.
Right.
Like, I know you want.
Probably was. I mean, the truth is the truth, but also at the same time, like hurt, and it sucks saying it, and I hate saying it, but it is the truth. Like hurt people hurt, and broken people break, and
Yep.
all of that. And so it's like, but it is also dumb to not be able to say, yeah, but you hurt me. You know what I mean? Like you have to. It's balancing that whole entire thing. And so I think that's probably going to be, if I do win, I think that's probably going to be the hardest, that I'm not going to be able. I
When?
can't please
When?
everybody.
When you do win.
When?
Yeah.
All right, so I want to end it with some fun. Okay,
Okay.
let's chill. Let's chill.
Simpatico.
We come from the same era.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know about same, but I mean,
I'm gonna
she's
bomb
way
this.
better looking than
I'll
you.
pro-
but-
I'll
Yeah.
pro-
Yeah, no.
I'll
That's
probably.
what we're gonna do.
Is it Tears for Fears?
Yeah, it's Tears for Fears.
Oh, okay. I won't double.
Get
Yeah, the northern version.
Do you know what the song was originally?
What?
It was "Everybody Wants to Go to War."
Mm.
It's crazy because the dude that's singing this song, he was the good-looking dude, and so he was just like, the heartthrob in the 80s and 85. So they end up, what he ends up doing is just, being a throb at the time.
Mhm.
And the other dude that's in it is Ashwell or something. He's British. He was a musician.
Mhm.
And so the dude ends up getting married and not have that position no more, where he's like the heartthrob. And the dude that wasn't the heartthrob was just grinding on music all the time. So when he goes back to be a part of the music group, he feels like he's not a part of it because he's been grinding for years while he was being a playboy.
Mhm.
And then that's when they broke up.
I feel like this was pop-up video, like VH1,
Pop-up
you know.
video.
Yes! Got it. Millennials don't know it.
All right, so what kind of music did you like?
All kinds of music.
What's your... Oh,
This guy.
All kinds of music. You gonna put some punk in there?
I know exactly
Some
what
Bad
you listen
Brains?
to.
Rancid.
Motley Crue?
Oh, shit.
New Kids on the Block.
You hella did this.
No,
I
I
know.
didn't. I actually
You
did not
lie?
like them. No, it's true. I did not get into. I
don't think she's into boy bands.
I was not.
Yeah.
I was not. I didn't understand it. I liked Criss Cross, but I did not like them. My best friend liked them, but it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I actually started listening to New Kids on the Block just so I could be annoying.
Yeah. Step by step.
I do know the words though because I remember it when it came out. Ooh,
I think they went on tour again or something like that.
I went to it. I saw it. You remember? What do we got here?
It actually comes. Yeah, you gotta wait for the. There it is. Is that Attitude? No, it's not.
Band in DC.
Yeah,
Do you know Dad Brains?
Dad Brains.
Yeah, I think it's like a cover band of all dads
No.
doing Dad Brains songs.
Have
They're in
you heard
Ventura.
of Spasmatics?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God, love the Spasmatics. Love them.
What's your when you win governor? What's the song that you come out?
Oh
to?
yeah.
Oh my God,
What
I've
is
thought
it?
of this a few times.
I know
What
you
is it?
have. That's why I know. That's why I asked.
I don't know.
Do you have a you have a couple? You have a playlist that you. I think like you put a playlist on. It's like this is what I walk out to.
There's. I love Celine Dion. I will tear up some Celine Dion, man. I love her. Everyone's like, "Oh, is that your closet?" I am not in the closet with Celine. I am all the way out with Celine Dion.
Really?
Yeah, I watched her thing too, like how she lost her voice. I cried through the whole fucking thing. I was
So-
like, "No,
So,
I'm never gonna
so
see
your
her live."
husband, your husband, Bruce Willis, and Celine Dion.
I don't know. I don't feel like that about her.
Oh, okay.
I like I don't feel like that, but yeah. I love her though.
So, but what would be so like? Do you have like a top three? Like, I like want to know what you come out to.
Yeah, what is it? What songs? Let's envision this together right now.
I'm putting you on the spot, so I'm sorry.
You know what? Like, let me see here.
It's like her play, like her running thing.
You know what's crazy? A couple times, and I just started getting into Kanye West lately, which is
Perfect.
Weird,
I know it's not. Let's get.
which is so fucking weird. I actually, like I just started like listening to him a lot lately, and I'm just like,
We're gonna remix
I
it.
can't believe like how much I've. But his song Selah, that song is like it's almost kind of like an in your face song.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Have you heard it?
Yeah,
It's.
I love Kanye. I like Ye. I like the Ye.
Let me see. Which album? I've got.
I feel that because you're like like you have this presence of like no nonsense, but like also easy to kind of invite and talk to.
That's why I like.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of the dudes.
It makes
like-
me want to work with you.
Yeah,
Like usually when the girls are in here, I'm like, oh, I like to do her. But like when I'm watching you talk, I'm like, I want to work with her. I wonder what she's like to work with.
yeah.
Well, and
It's
I work
weird,
with,
huh?
Yeah, well, and you would work with me, not for me. So that's a good thing.
Like
No, yeah.
Like
well,
I was like, I'll go door and put the pooper scooper little things on the thing.
hell yeah.
Like yeah, I'm working.
No dumping.
No dumping.
No dumping. Yeah.
No, it really
Hilarious.
does. Makes you want to be like because my girlfriend's like because she does my girlfriend does the fuck all the way off. She says that when she's really pissed. And so I go, she quoted you. She what? And she goes, what did she do? The fuck all the way off. I was like, yeah. That's something you guys could relate to.
Yeah.
Is that whole thing? She goes, she got my vote. So you at least have you got 2 votes tonight.
Yeah.
At least.
You know what I
So-
actually just added to one of my favorites playlist? I added it actually last night.
Fuck yeah. Isn't that from Bullworth?
I don't think so.
I got it.
ODB.
It's Praz.
It's it was
He's
on
like
that movie.
a one-hit wonder or something.
It was on the
right?
soundtrack Bullworth. I think is when Warren Beatty was. It's like a public. Yeah. He had those 2 movies that Dick Tracy and then Bullworth came out.
I would.
That's it right there.
Ghetto Superstar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I would come out to.
Food for thought there.
I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking, like to be real, like I cannot stand the song that Trump has. I
Oh, the
cannot
Wham.
stand-
Play it.
I can't stand it. I cannot. It makes me crawl like.
He even, you know, it's funny.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm like,
Oh,
God,
that one.
Stop it.
Oh, not YMCA. It's
No,
the
no,
American
no.
one.
The American one. I'm
Proud to be an American.
Yeah, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I cannot fucking
You
stand
don't
it.
like Proud to Be American song?
I don't.
All right.
I can't.
I'm
It's
gonna tell
something.
you.
I
Is it
can't-
because Trump has it, or is it because
No,
in
no, no, no,
general?
no, no, no. I don't have very much beef with Trump.
All
You
right,
don't
so
have Trump
here's my
derangement
deal,
syndrome.
Don't say that out there. People get really upset
Cut
about
that out.
When you graduate boot camp, after you do the battle stations, you're
Mhm.
up 48 hours or whatever.
Mhm.
They play that song, and that's my memory. I'm like crying, like I
Yeah.
fucking did it. Like I've been away from my family for so long. And
Yeah,
it fucking makes it.
I
gets
like
me.
the words. I think it's.
I
think
hated
it's-
the song up until that moment.
Yeah.
Just to be honest.
Honestly, I've gotten burned out by the song.
Yeah.
I used to like the song, but I think I hear it too much that I get more excited when I hear YMCA.
Yeah.
It's weird that YMCA is considered a patriotic song now.
Well, no, he even said in an interview a couple of days ago, it's the gay national anthem, and I still win. With
I
the
thought
gay
It's Raining Men is the gay national anthem.
Isaac knows.
I used to.
He'll tell you.
I used to be from West Hollywood as the character on the show, and so that was
WeHo?
Yeah, WeHo. No, but plus Trump, he doesn't. I don't even know how much he knows about the gays, but he said that was that was his national anthem, was the gay national anthem. Was
I think that's what it was.
Well,
like
I think
maybe
because
in
it's the village
70s or
people, yeah.
80s or whatever.
Well, yeah, I think because of the village people, and
Uh-huh.
then they
What about
were.
here?
Oh, Hulk Hogan. That's
as
not
long
her
as you
vibe.
don't, as long as you don't put with Bruce Springsteen, fucking hate him. Can't stand Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Can't.
I didn't.
You play Bruce Springsteen, I will choke the shit
I
out
don't
of you.
even understand the obsession with it. I was talking about it the other day.
His
like,
voice makes me cry because my ears are bleeding. Like I cannot.
the
cannot.
boss. Of what?
Boss of what? Yeah.
The Bruce Springsteen's voice is like Nicolas Cage's
Santa
voice.
Claus are coming to town.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He's a Nicolas Cage of singing.
I can't stand Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
Okay, and then we'll just end it with this. I'm gonna say a conspiracy theory.
Mhm.
You say
You believe
yes
it
or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Elites eating babies.
Yes.
The 12 families each have an Epstein on Earth.
You talking about the Rothschilds?
That's one of the families.
Yeah, but you're talking about all
DuPonts,
of them, right? You're
yeah.
talking about the whole zeitgeist, all that
Yep.
shit. Yep. Yes.
Okay. Harp, you already said that one.
Yep.
Here's another one.
I do think the Earth is round. Well,
Perfect.
I'm okay with that one.
I'm okay with that one.
Do you believe that black money is being generated by the United States by us using sex trafficking?
black money,
Black money.
like money for black
projects.
people.
No, for black projects in FBI and CIA.
Oh yes.
Oh,
We're
dark
selling
road.
women, girls, and we're getting that money for our projects. The same way they
Sounds viable to me. I mean,
the crack cocaine
She probably
epidemic.
yes, yep, they did that on purpose.
They did the pills in the doctor's scripts on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and then heroin in the 80s.
Yes, yep, to the
Mhm.
black people. Yep, yep.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm a yes
this
on
is the
all
next.
of
And then they also did the opium in Afghanistan in 2001 that helped. They took all that opium to make pills.
that. And then they were also sterilizing people of color too back in the day.
Yep.
And I think that Planned Parenthood was created to.
We want to open this one? No.
She's like, no.
No.
We're gonna lose a lot of people with this
I'm
one.
just
Edit
not
that,
gonna do
yeah.
that one.
Clap.
Nah,
She's like, stop.
Yeah, we don't want to do that one. Because that one's.
We'll-
I agree.
Off the record.
We'll say off the record. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I feel like we should all have a beer, like at some point.
All right. Well, dude, there's only one more thing. What'd you learn?
What I learned?
We go around the room and we explain what we learned. I learned that I know who I'm probably voting for governor.
Let's go.
Rebuilding from the ground up,
Mhm.
and that's what we need. We need to start doing that. And I learned a lot of where this candidate is trying to go and what the vision of California should be. And I think if we all can gather around and rally the troops, we have a good shot.
Swim down.
Swim down or swim up or whatever against whatever this California is. We need a new California, and it's not anybody's that I see. But this might be a good candidate here, so we'll see. Yeah. That's what I learned.
How'd you enjoy your time? Or if you
good.
did.
I don't want to tell you guys to like have me on again, but I feel like there's other stuff. That
Yeah,
we
let's
could talk
go.
about. There's so much
Just
stuff.
have it. I'll reach out to you again.
Like a couple things real quick. Like, did you know, like I built the first permitted hempcrete ADU in California? Like I build regenerative housing out of like hemp.
I saw that.
You want another reason what I want to vote for her?
Yeah, I
You were
use
talking about
and
the,
cob and stuff, and it's fire resistant and it's healthy.
It insulates the heat and also reflects the coldness at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you. I would love to have you
Thank you for
back. We
having
should
me.
do it again.
Mhm.
I got you a gift
Okay.
for coming. It's the DVD version of Top Gun.
All
Can you
right.
please give this her?
Who uses DVDs anymore?
Well, people that like Top Gun.
Well, you could use it as a coaster, or if you're like a table's not wobbly, you know what I mean? You could just kind of slip it underneath there, or there's no. You should have got a Bruce Willis movie. That would have been.
Poor
Next-
Bruce Willis.
Next time you come, we'll have Die Hard, one of the Die Hards for you.
There you go. Hell yeah. Look at you.
And for a while there, I mean, CDs were used for like just a couple things,
I mean,
right?
you could definitely put like an art project together with it. too.
Right.
Where
Thank
can we
you so
find?
much.
Where can we find?
Yeah,
you?
where can people find you?
They can find me at amandaforcalifornia.org.
Perfect.
And I'm also Amanda for California on Facebook and Instagram, and it's Amanda for Cali on X and
The
TikTok.
TikToks. Yes.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
We got you. Faded Black, the crowd was apeshit. We're out of here. As it's in Canada. Peace out.
Fuck Canada. Those crazy Canadians. Oh.